Roseburg football is on the air.
It's going to be an exciting season, and here come the Indians.
Welcome to another broadcast of Roseburg High School sports on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's head to the field for the pregame show. Here's your host, Joey Kieran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Spiegelberg Stadium in Medford, Oregon. Tonight's site for a Southwest Conference meeting between the Roseburg Indians and the South Medford Panthers. We welcome you into tonight's broadcast of Roseburg football here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. The Indians come in with a two-game losing skid that they're trying to end tonight here against the Panthers, the defending Southwest Conference champions. Roseburg, ranked number 22 by the OSAA, comes in with a 1-4 record, 0-1 in Southwest Conference play. On the other side, the Panthers, after graduating a large senior class last year, have picked up right where they left off after a run to the state championship game in 2017. The Panthers, ranked number 14 by the OSAA, come in with a 4-1 record. This will be their Southwest Conference opener, but the Roseburg Indians will try to spoil things for the Panthers tonight. It's homecoming tonight here from Spiegelberg Stadium in Medford. A good evening to you folks. I'm Joey Kieran. Welcome into tonight's broadcast. We hope you're having a wonderful evening. It is a bit of a wet one tonight here in Medford, and I'm sure that is no surprise to any of you back in Roseburg taking part in tonight's broadcast. It was wet when we left the Umpqua Basin, and heading south, it continued the entire way down. So we're looking forward to a game that could get a little sloppy with the conditions out there, but nonetheless should be a fun matchup tonight for the Roseburg Indians. Roseburg's been building steam over the last couple of weeks, but they need to get over the hump to try and get that first Southwest Conference win of the season. A win tonight here on the road would be the first away from Finlay Field for the Roseburg Indians, and that would be a big first step here in the second half of the 2018 season. Roseburg also looking to try and build their case for a run to the postseason, and a win tonight against the Panthers would be big. Meanwhile, on the other side, of course, homecoming night, the Panthers looking to try and defend their home field with homecoming events going on throughout this Friday night and into the weekend. And so they are looking to try and put on a good show for their home crowd here tonight. But they're also one of the top teams in the Southwest Conference, and they're looking to try and stay there. After winning the conference title in 2017, they are looking to try and repeat there and make another deep run to the postseason. But last year they had a large senior class, and this year they graduate a number of those and have to rebuild as of sorts. But with Medford, it is the case that it's not usually rebuilding, it's more like reloading. So we'll see what the Panthers have for us here tonight as we make our way to Medford. Joining me tonight here in the booth, as always, it's Joshua Nelson providing our analysis of tonight's football matchup. Josh, welcome down here to Medford, your first broadcast from Spiegelberg Stadium. But tonight the Roseburg Indians have a tough test in South Medford. It looked like they were a team that maybe graduated a number of pieces, but that might have given Roseburg a little bit of hope coming into this one. But Roseburg, they're having to deal with a couple of issues with losses of guys here tonight. But this matchup, a big one for the Roseburg Indians as they look to try and build some momentum in the second half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. There was an article earlier this week in the News Review about the gap and how big of a gap has Roseburg made against the South Medford team. They closed the gap really well against Grants Pass from last year, as we saw last week. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. As you mentioned, we are missing a few players tonight, but I don't expect that to hurt us as bad as it possibly could. I think the guys came out. They're ready to play some football. It is going to be wet, and I think that actually helps the Roseburg side a little bit.
Well, they'll look to try and possibly ground and pound a little bit on a very wet night tonight here at Spiegelberg Stadium. Plenty to continue to talk about here during the pregame show. We will get into some of the players not with us here tonight, so we'll talk more about that coming up here in the pregame show. Keep you up to date on what's going on with Roseburg. But when we come back, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Heiberger. It is our Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. That's Tim's Appliance. 0% financing is always available. We'll come back after a quick break and have our talk with head coach Dave Heiberger when we return after this 60-second break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Getting ready for a wet one tonight down here at Spiegelberg as the Roseburg Indians take on South Medford and get a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Heiberger. It's our Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview. And Coach, it's been a competitive season for you guys, but still looking to try and find that first Southwest Conference win. One game into it after Grants Pass last week. Fun to watch these guys come back and really make it a competitive game all the way down to the final horn for you. When you watched the film on that, what stood out to you in the performance against the Cavemen?
They battled back, kind of like what you said. We started getting some things moving a little bit. Kids got a little confidence and a little trust in each other, I think. And there was a team-wide deal that, hey, they scored, let's go back and we can score. And I don't know that we've necessarily had that in the last couple of years. So it was good to see that confidence of our kids, where, hey, let's go battle.
Week in and week out, I'm sure your biggest goal is to just see your guys compete and continue to grow and continue to become a better football team by the end of the season. You feel like that's what you've been seeing through these first 5 weeks of the season so far?
Yeah, our biggest goal is always to win. It amplifies what high school athletics are a part of. So why wouldn't we want that to be our ultimate goal? Obviously, there's some lessons you learn, win, lose, or draw. But these kids have competed for 3 years and extremely proud of the way they play. And we just, like I said, got to keep facing challenges and overcoming those challenges.
As you look at what you guys have gone through, they've got the new coaches poll that goes up on OSAA, and you see what the teams you got, teams that are thought of pretty highly throughout the state. That test week in and week out. Have you guys been through one of the probably toughest ones you've seen in the last handful of years as the coach here at Roseburg?
I don't know. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. I think that the important thing is we've been competitive in those games, with the exception of Mountain View, that right out of the chutes, and to play in a conference where there's 5 teams and there's 5 teams with pretty good tradition, it doesn't do us really any good to go play some of those lower schools. We've got to try and get better and give our kids that opportunity to compete. And, you schedule a team you can get the clock running on. I don't know how much your kids really learn about competing in that and fighting through some things. So, I don't know. It just is what it is.
South Medford tonight, longtime coach Bill Singler on the other side. I'm sure you've gotten to know him as you've been here with Roseburg. Probably knew him before that even as well. But South Medford, a program, defending conference champs, definitely a program with a lot of tradition and rich history down here. The matchup tonight, what kind of things do you guys need to do to be successful against the Panthers?
We need to take care of the ball. It's a cliche, but we need to take care of the ball. Obviously, we have a pretty good idea what South Medford is going to do, and that's a credit to them, and that's a compliment to them. Good teams, they line up, and they don't care if you know what they're going to do. So we got to take care of the ball, and we just got to play relentless football the whole night.
All right. Look forward to it tonight. That is our pregame coaches interview with head coach Dave Heiberger, as we wish him the best of luck and get ready for tonight's action. It is your Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Back here at Spiegelberg, getting ready for a kickoff between Roseburg and South Medford. Joey Kieran and Josh Nelson here with you tonight as we get ready. It is a wet one here this evening. We'll get you a full weather update on how the conditions are here. But as we get closer to kickoff, wanted to take a look at our keys to tonight's game for the Roseburg Indians. We've seen them doing pretty well against some tough competition over the last couple of weeks, but they haven't been able to get over that hump. Josh, as you look at it tonight, what are some things you'd like to see from this team? We heard what head coach Dave Heiberger thought about the chances for victory and what they need to do. What are some of the things you are looking at to see what they do out there tonight?
Well, the one thing that I do agree with him on is taking care of the ball. They're going to have to hold on to the ball. Roseburg several times this season has had the ball, whether or not it's a interception or a fumble, but the fumble's been the biggest concern. With it being wet, hopefully the guys can actually hold on to the ball and not let it just slip out of their hands. When it comes down to the adversity, I want to see how they overcome the adversity tonight. They do have 3 players that are not with them today. See if that affects them, or if they can just focus on just the football game itself. And then the third thing is, if they get a turnover, they need to score off that turnover. I don't know how many times we've watched Roseburg take the ball away this season, which has been an awful lot, but they're not scoring on those takeaways. So they need to take the ball away and actually score on those takeaways.
All right, we'll look forward to see how things play out here tonight. We'll take our final break and come back with your kickoff in just a moment. This has been the pregame show on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Captains are meeting at midfield as Roseburg is ready to take on South Medford tonight. The Indians in their white road jerseys. They've been wearing those quite a bit so far this season. Black numbers on the back and outlined in orange. On the other side, it's blue tops with white bottoms for South Medford. The numbers are dark black outlined in white on those blue jerseys for the Panthers. Getting ready for this one. We'll find out who will be receiving the ball here in just a moment. But, Josh, you touched on it in your keys to the game, overcoming some adversity. Want to make sure that we make note of it and pass along the information to fans that are tuning in for tonight's broadcast. But 3 players suspended from the team for the rest of the season. Those players, Merhowie Lake, Bryson Diaz, and Colbert. Those guys will no longer be with the team the rest of the year after a school violating school policies. And so without 3 players, all seniors, all guys that contributed heavily for this team, we'll see how it goes. Next man up has been the message from the Roseburg Indians after finding out that news just the other day.
And that's the way it's going to have to be as the next man up. They cannot dwell on those 3 guys. It's very unfortunate. I kind of feel bad for the guys, but at the same time, they did violate school policy, so they're going to have to be held accountable for that. It looks like, as of right now, South Medford did win the toss, but they're going to elect to receive the ball.
All right, that means the kicking game. Merhowie Lake was the kicker for Roseburg. So they have had open tryouts to find out who is going to kick the ball. It's going to be Carson Ellis kicking away for Roseburg as South Medford will send their guys out deep to return. We get ready for kickoff. On top of those suspensions, and not to harp on that too much, but on top of that, we also have injuries. You've got guys like Peyton Bryant, who went down with an injury at the tail end of the game against Grants Pass last week. He's sidelined this week, but they hope to have him back soon. Colin Reitman's been out for a few weeks. He's still out again this week, and we'll have updates on other guys that look like out of pads this evening, but it looks like a couple of guys coming back. Kickoff left to right on your radio dial. Ellis puts a decent boot on it down to the 7 where it's bobbled by the return man for South Medford. Picked up out across the 20 and taken down just shy of the 25-yard line. The return man for South Medford will set up the Panthers and their offense out near the 25-yard line. They'll put it at the 24. And the offense will come out for South Medford. Leading the way will be senior quarterback, first-year starter Gio Botero. He'll be out there leading the offense, usually sets up in shotgun. He has thrown for 826 yards so far this season, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he's run for 58 yards and 2 TDs. In the backfield, he'll have a couple of backs with him throughout the night, Terrence Butler and Mason DeVries, and we'll get you the rest of the starting lineups brought to you by Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley. Save time and checkout styles online at supercuts.com. First down play handed off out of the backfield. Terrence Butler, he is wasting no time as he'll get it out across the 40. He moves the chains on the first down play. And South Medford showing some quickness here to start as they'll go no huddle. Ball out to the 41-yard line, a 17-yard pickup for Butler on his first carry of the night. He sets up in the backfield along with Botero, who will now walk up towards the line. They'll set up, offset the back to the left. 2 targets either side. Botero turns and hands it to Butler up the middle again. He will gain less yardage here on the first down carry, this time only out to about the 44. So a 3-yard pickup on the carry for Butler. They'll substitute some guys out up along the front line. Jake Ramsey, Cole Boster, Ramiro Cabrera, Fernando Alvarez, and Jacob Herman. And your wide receiver targets, Austin Boster, Adam Nanez, Trent DeBoer is some of the names you'll hear so far tonight. 2 backs in the backfield. They dump it out to the far side. It's caught by Butler racing upfield. That young man has great speed, and it looks like he is close to the first down marker, and they will give it to him as he gets to the Roseburg 47. So far, it has been the Terrence Butler show. That one catching a pass out of the backfield to move the chains.
And that was Zach Mandera that ended up making the tackle on that, and before that, it was Reitman with the other tackle.
Well, Colin Reitman's back out there. That would be really good for the team. They hand it off, running right side. A big hit. It's Mandera coming in and getting a shoulder on the running back out of the backfield. This time they give it to the other back we'll see tonight, DeVries, who gets his first carry, and it's down inside the 45, down to the Roseburg 43.
Yeah, Reitman's back out there. He's lined up right there with Mandera.
Well, that is big with the losses of some players and injuries. Big to have Colin Reitman back out there tonight for the Roseburg Indians. The Panthers set up. It is second down and 6 to go. The ball at the Roseburg 43. They'll move a man in motion. That's DeVries, who will set up in front as a fullback. They hand it off. Butler running left side, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. He will not. He'll just get right back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down, a big third down here for Roseburg.
And it was Thomas Ruth that came in and made that tackle right there. He was able to get inside that gap, fill that gap, and their ball carrier just ran right into him for him to bring him down.
So it'll be third down here, a chance for the Roseburg defense to try and get a 3-and-out and stop things early. They'll have to be watching the speedy back out of the backfield, Butler, who's had some big carries so far. And burning an early timeout is going to be South Medford. The Panthers will take an early timeout, and they will have 2 left here in this first half of action. 9:38 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg football tonight. We've been running through our starting lineups. Let's get a look at the starters tonight on the Roseburg defensive side of the ball. I was told that Reitman would not be out there tonight by Coach Heiberger earlier, but it's great to see that things maybe shape up for him to get out there on the field. So Colin Reitman, a junior, back after a couple of weeks off. Up along the front line, you'll see the names of Clayton Brelich, Thomas Ruth, Colton Jordan, Hunter Blix. Caden Gingery back this week after not playing last week with an injury. Saw him in his pads on the sideline. Elijah Norris also has been getting some good time on the defensive line as well. Linebackers, Doran Gillespie, Colin Reitman, Rourke Martin, Zach Mandera, Ethan Stoner. Expect to see most of them throughout the night out there. In the secondary, Isaiah Moore, Colin Warmouth, and we'll see who else they fill out that back section as the loss of Colbert, and Peyton Bryan out with an injury as well. Looks like a number
Zymet.
Garrett Zymet out there,
Zymet.
and you've also got Gage Hill is in as a linebacker as well. It looks like for Roseburg on the defensive front. That is your Supercut starting lineups for the Roseburg defense. Big third down here and 6, looking to pass. Patero over the middle of the field has a man wide open to the 5, end zone, touchdown. And South Medford will strike first out of the timeout. Racing down the middle of the field and catching that touchdown pass. That is Trevor Marthowski. Had only one touchdown catch only one catch coming into tonight's game, and Marthowski will have a touchdown there from 43 yards out. And South Medford will take the early lead. The PAT, no good. And it'll remain a 6-0 lead for South Medford. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Panthers in front, scoring on their first drive of the game. Back after this on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
So it's 6-0. South Medford takes the early lead on a 43-yard touchdown pass. Gio Botero connecting with Trevor Marthowski. And Marthowski, a senior, getting his first touchdown grab of the year. putting the Panthers in front early on. Roseburg will come out to receive, moving left to right on your radio dial. The kick is away, punting it deep. Luke Allen, he'll angle it to the corner, and it goes through the back of the end zone out the side of the end zone. It was Ethan Stoner trying to get a handle on it. It is starting to rain, pick up on the rain a little bit, and that one in and out of his hands and goes out of the end zone. Got a little lucky that it goes through the end zone and not going out at the 1 yard line. Roseburg will have the ball out at their own 20.
Yeah, very lucky right there. And right now, if I was the coach, I'd make sure these guys wearing those gloves can actually catch with those gloves, because normally when they get wet, they get really, really slippery.
Colin Warmouth, the senior quarterback, will lead out the offense. Comes in 720 yards passing on the season. He's got 192 yards rushing. He is combined for 10 touchdowns total. In the backfield with him is Zach Mandera as they spread 2 targets to either side of the field. Looking to run the ball on first down, it's Mandera weaving through traffic. He lowers his shoulder and will plow into a defender out to the 26-yard line. And Mandera will pick up 6 on his first down carry. We may be seeing some changes in the formation, guys in new spots with the depth challenged a little bit with what's been going on with Roseburg.
Yeah, and we were seeing it earlier in warm-ups that Zach Mandera was lining up at running back and Gillespie was lining up in slot, which he's doing again right now.
He sets up as one of 3 receivers to the right for Warmouth. Out there with him is Zymet, who's getting a chance to play a little bit more tonight. Turn and hand it to Mandera running left side. He'll back to the line of scrimmage, picks up 1 yard it looks like, and it'll make it 3rd down, and it'll be about 4 to go for Roseburg. They place the ball right back at about the 26, so I don't think they're really going to give Mandera much on that carry, and Roseburg will face an early 3rd down to try and convert.
And that right there looked like an option play. Like Warmouth had the option to either hand off or throw to Gillespie on a little bubble screen type play.
We'll set up, send Isaiah Moore and Eddie Herskovitz out to the right side. D'Angelo Adams, the only man out to the left, and coming out to join the receivers on the right side will be Gillespie. Mandera still in the backfield with Warmouth. Cut blocks, quick pass, left side, intended for D'Angelo Adams, and it's incomplete. And Roseburg looks like they will probably kick this ball away on their first possession of tonight's contest. Looking at that front line, blocking for the Indians tonight, Thomas Ruth, C.J. Gale, Riley Culberhouse, Hunter Blix, and Hunter Hilliard. In the backfield, we've seen Doran Gillespie. We'll probably see Ethan Stoner and Gage Hill. And we mentioned some of your wide receiver targets, D'Angelo Adams, Eddie Herskovitz, Carson Ellis, the tight end. And we'll see Gillespie, Isaiah Moore, some of those guys out there as well. Warmouth back to punt. There is a penalty flag out. He mishandled the snap. It was a little off target. He somehow gets a decent kick away. We'll wait on the penalty flag. The return man is Austin Boster. Very speedy guy, but he's taken down. A little extracurricular, some pushing and shoving, it sounds like. They get the whistles blown. South Medford will have the ball at their own 43, but we'll wait to see what this penalty flag is about. Roseburg only needed 4 yards to move the chains. If this is a penalty against South Medford, we might have a chance to see the drive extended for Roseburg. It's going to be a penalty against Roseburg.
It's an illegal shift.
They could force them, I think, to punt again, or do they add it just to the end? It was from the 43 is where they had downed the ball. Now the officials talking with the captains for South Medford. They are going to waive off the penalty, so
they declined it.
Yeah, they will, not waive it off, but decline the penalty. And so South Medford will take the football at their own 43-yard line, leading 6-0, 7:45 to go in the first quarter. So back out is the offense for South Medford. Gio Botero, a touchdown strike from 43 yards out. He'll head back out there. He's going to have 2 backs in the backfield with him. Butler to his right. And to the left, he's got DeVries. Turns and hands it to Butler, running left side with some blockers. He gets through 1 tackle into the secondary, hit from behind. It'll be Gage Hill that takes him down into Roseburg territory to the 43. He flips the field.
And that was some really good blocking by that offensive line of South Medford. They knew exactly who they were blocking, and they went and grabbed them, made sure they couldn't get off their blocks.
14-yard pickup for Butler. They'll bring in 2 tight ends. Well, actually, they bring in a tight end to the left of the formation, and they set up Butler as an H-back just at the end of the line on the right side. In the backfield, DeVries to the right of Botero. They give him the handoff running left side. Blockers out in front. He can't quite squeeze through, but then he bulldozes his way forward out to the 36. It was Rourke Martin that had a hand around the ball carrier, and he just continued to carry him and push the pile.
Yeah, he pretty much was carrying him all the way across until finally he was pretty much looked like tripped up by one of his own players.
7-yard run for DeVries on 11 yards on the night for him so far. It makes it 2nd down and 3 for the Panthers. Both backs in the backfield give it to DeVries. He's running right side, tries to use a stiff arm, but Clayton Brelage will bring him down for a tackle for loss. Brelage gets him back to the 39, and that's going to set up 3rd down and long now for the Panthers. Nice job getting the pressure in the backfield.
Yeah, really, really nice job on reading that play. Now, Roseburg has to continue to do that all night, and they need to do it pretty much every play that they're out there.
Got to give credit there to Brelage shedding a blocker on him as well to get an arm on DeVries and then able to wrap him up and bring him down. Thomas Ruth was running off the field. He'll stay in as they go with a 3-man front and actually make it a 4-man front for Roseburg. It's 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers. Down to about 6 minutes to play first quarter. 6-0 score in favor of the Panthers so far on their homecoming night. 2 backs in the backfield and a penalty flag out. That's probably going to be a delay of game as it comes from the back judge.
Yeah, most likely a delay of game. That would be 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
And that'll be the first penalty that will actually be accounted for tonight. Roseburg had a penalty, but it was declined. So South Medford will go back to their the Roseburg 44-yard line, losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it now 3rd down and 11. Botero in backfield, in shotgun, the first-year starter. Calling out the offense, 2 targets to his left. 2 backs in the backfield with him. They'll leak out, looking to pass down the sideline, and the pass is too short, intended for Terrence Butler out of the backfield, and the running back had the edge, but the pass behind him.
Yeah, it was really well read by Gage Hill, number 26 for Roseburg. He did a great job at reading it, but he just got burnt around the corner, allowing the running back for South Medford to get around him.
Offense stays on the field. Botero has also served as the punter, and now he will drop back a little bit, and he will get a quick kick away, averaging 34.7 yards per kick. This one takes a roll and tried to stop it just in front of the goal line, but I believe that was Austin Boster down there. He waited too long, and that ball goes in to the end zone. Roseburg will have another touchdown, but the defense comes up with the stop they needed, and the offense will come back out trailing 6-0 with 5:23 to go in the first quarter.
And that's a huge stop right there for Roseburg. They definitely need that stop. Now they need to do something with it. They need to get a score. Any type of score right now would do wonders for this Roseburg offense.
Ball will be set at the 20-yard line on the touchback. The Roseburg Indians have started both drives so far in this ball game from their own 20. Last time it was a 3-and-out. They'll spread out Adams and Herskovitz to the left. The lone man is Isaiah Moore to the right. You've got Stoner and Mandera in the backfield. They give it. No, it's a keeper for Warmouth. Things open up. He's got a block downfield, and he's off to the far side, and he will get taken down in South Medford territory. A dual threat quarterback out of Colin Warmouth, and that time he makes the right read on the option play.
Right there is perfect option play. It was a triple option play. He could have handed it off to Ethan Stoner. He could have also pitched it back to Mandera. Instead, he kept it. It was a perfect call. If only he could get Mandera to get in front of him as a lead blocker, that'd been even better.
Colin Warmouth, 32-yard run. A little bit shy of his longest run of the season of 47 yards. Sets him up 1st and 10 from South Medford territory. First time tonight they've been in South territory. Handed off, running right side is Stoner. Made a couple of cuts. He'll get out across the 45, a little bit closer to the end zone, down to the 44. That is a pickup of about 4 on the first down carry for Roseburg.
And a really good carry by Ethan Stoner. Showed some power there. He was able to find a hole, and he got as much as he could out of that hole.
Started at the 48, so it was actually a 31-yard run for Warmouth, down to the 44. On the run by Stoner will be a 4-yard gain. They'll set up with Stoner, the deep back. To the right is Zach Mandera. Handed off to Mandera, who is in as a fullback, and he gets a burst through the line and will get across the 40, and it looks like moves the chains by a yard down to the 37-yard line, and that's a pickup of 7 for Mandera.
And right there, South Medford, they're playing a 3-4 defense. They didn't have anybody blitzing. They got 2 safeties, a free safety and strong safety, playing back about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
4:09 to go first quarter. Roseburg trailing 6-0. Their second possession of the ball game. Garrett Zymet, who's been in as a backup quarterback at times. Zymet will spread out wide to the right side. Just a sophomore getting his first significant action at the varsity level. The snap is high. Warmouth having to race back to get to it. He will jump on it, but it is deep into his own territory, back to their own 44, and that is a huge miscue for Roseburg. Slippery ball tonight, you got to imagine, but that one, a snap that just went whizzing by Colin Warmouth.
Yeah, it was way over his head. There's really no excuse on it except for the center probably got a little anxious with the guy that he's getting ready to block and was thinking about that before he was thinking about getting the ball to the quarterback.
So let's see, that would be a 19-yard loss on that play, dropping Roseburg back to their own 44. They've got to get it out to the 37 in South Territory. Hand it off to Adams running right side, looking to get to the edge. He'll stretch it. It gets across the 50, and they'll mark him out at the South 47. So he does a nice job of picking up some, but it's not quite enough, and Roseburg will face third down and long.
Looks like
and actually, they got to get down to the 27, not the 37.
Yep, so 20.
Well, it's going to be third down and 19 to be precise. Adams will spread out to the left side of the field. Just a little bit of a drizzle. The heavy rains have started to subside a bit here in Medford. 50 degrees as we were kicking off. Warmouth in shotgun, fakes a handoff to Mandera. Pressure coming late. Nobody picked up the weak side. Warmouth still on his feet, trying to make something happen, but not enough time to get out of the grasps of the defense. And he gets taken down for a sack and will lose yardage. A play or drive that was looking good for Roseburg, hurt by the high snap, and they cannot recover.
Well, right there, South Medford was showing blitz on that far side. He didn't end up blitzing, and it was this corner that ended up coming over and blitzing, and so it was just a little misdirection to the offensive line for Roseburg.
So Colin Warmouth losing 7 on the sack. He'll drop back to punt. He gets a low line drive kick, takes a hop at the 21, right to Boster, the return man. He's going to try and stretch it to the far side, loses one man, and now gets tripped up before getting to the 30. He'll get taken down at the 25-yard line after the punt, and South will send the offense back out, leading at 6-0.
And right there it just shows Roseburg has a really good play, and then they have a play that backs them way up, and they can't get any momentum from that. And Roseburg's got to find something right now to give them a little bit of momentum.
1:21 to go first quarter, 6-0 score. South Medford in front. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Hand off to Butler, running right side. He slips through one tackle, out to the far side, and he will get taken down out of bounds. Goes out at the 36-yard line, and that'll be a pickup of 11 on the ground for Terrence Butler.
And it's going to be Garrett Zymet that was able to get him out of bounds, bring him down pretty much out of bounds.
Butler showing some good skills running behind his blockers. He's got great speed, and he's taken out of bounds at 1:12 to go here in the first quarter. South Medford trying to add another scorer before the end of this first period. Well, drop guys back into coverage here as Botero looking to pass. They'll go a quick pass on the near side. Blockers out in front. And the receiver taken down at the 42-yard line with the catch It's Trent DeBoer, his first reception of the night, out to the 42.
And it looks like Jake Ramsey, number 63 for South Medford, did a good job at picking up Ethan Stoner for Roseburg on that block to allow them to pick up a few yards.
South Medford facing second down and about 5, make it 4. Ball at the 42-yard line, clock ticking down to 35 seconds to play in the first quarter. Patero in the backfield, giving the offense the call. We'll move a man in motion right to left across the formation. Dropping back to pass. They'll go on another screen to Boster. He'll try to bubble back through. He will not escape the defense, taken down for a loss of yardage. And Roseburg's defense comes up with the tackle for loss, pushing it back, making it 3rd down and 7 now for the Panthers.
It was number 26, Gage Hill, that held him up for just a second, long enough for number 65, Clayton Braillage, to be able to come up with the tackle.
And that'll end the first quarter. Roseburg trailing 6-0, but not too bad as the Indians, they got to get some offensive flow going after a couple of plays that killed them out there, but they are looking strong on defense, and we could have a defensive battle tonight on a cold and wet one here from Spiegelberg. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the second quarter after this on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
On 3rd down and long, we come back to start the second quarter, and South Medford flip sides of the fields. They now move left to right, and they will connect on a 3rd down play for a 1st down. It's Trent DeBoer moving the chains as he catches and goes into Roseburg territory down to the 46.
And that was Colin Warmouth on the tackle.
So the pass play will go for 15 yards through the air from Botero. And he connects with Trent DeBoer for a 2nd time. Roseburg will make some defensive substitutions before the 1st down play from their 46. South Medford leading 6-0 here from Spiegelberg on homecoming night. Handoff in the backfield. Butler running left side, waits for his blocks to develop. Flag out, but he escapes from a tackle down the sideline, racing to the end zone. But we'll wait to see what the penalty flag's about. It looks to be in the area of holding.
Yeah, it's going to be holding on that left tackle or tight end on that side. Was holding Roseburg's defender right there. Pretty good. Wouldn't even let go of him so he could try to come off the block to make a tackle.
They do signify holding. And against South Medford. And so that'll bring back what was a touchdown. The hold was at the 44-yard line, so they'll count it off from there. Butler will get credit of a 2-yard run before the penalty. They put it back to the 46 in South Medford's half of the field. Second penalty of the night for South Medford. And they will lose 10 yards. Repeat 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 18. Fake the handoff, the late handoff. Running up the middle is Butler across the 50. They go on the fake end around for the wide receiver and then give it to Butler right up the gut. And he has got good speed and good size to push the pile.
And it was Mandera and Braillage that ended up with that tackle.
Out to the 46. Roseburg's half of the field. Pickup of 8 on that carry for Butler. Makes it 2nd down and 10. Got to get the ball to the 36. Roseburg showing a blitz. They will back up off of it, and timeout called. It'll be Roseburg to take a quick break. They trail 6-0 here in the first half. We have got 10:33 to go in the second quarter. We'll come back after a quick 30-second break on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
The Roseburg Indians trying to keep it a one-possession game, trailing 6-0 here in the early going of the second quarter. South Medford facing 2nd down and 10. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Mentioned that it's not a very warm one tonight, 50 degrees at kickoff. We've been seeing off and on rains here tonight. Do you feel like the conditions are having an effect on tonight's ball game so far, Josh?
Yeah, I think South Medford's running the ball because of that, and Roseburg doesn't have much of an option but to run the ball as well, because that ball does get slick when it gets wet.
2nd down and 10 from the Roseburg 46-yard line for South Medford. Botero moves a man in motion, and penalty flags come out before the play gets underway from the near side line judge, and that looks like it could be a false start. South looks like they are backing up. I didn't really see a lot of motion.
Offside,
and they'll call it
Roseburg.
against Roseburg, lining up offside for the Roseburg defense. That'll be Roseburg's first penalty of the night after having one declined earlier on.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. I didn't see anybody that came off sides.
5-yard penalty. It'll make it 2nd down and 5 now for South. Bosser will be the man spread out wide to the right side. He has got great speed downfield. He's marked right now by Isaiah Moore. Twins to the right side of the formation. One man in the backfield, moving right to left of the quarterback. Now you'll move a man in motion right to left across the formation. Late handoff to Butler up the middle. He is met by the safety, Colin Warmuth, at the 34, and that moves the chains.
And that looks like the exact same play that Roseburg tried to run, and the exact same play that South Medford tried to run right before that penalty.
Well, they pick up 7 this time on it. Move the chains. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 34. The Panther offense moving receivers from one side to the other. DeBoer, the lone man on the right side, and now he will have a teammate join him out there. Running to the far or near side, Adam Nunez will set up as the slot. Botero in shotgun, letting the clock wear. He'll move Nunez in motion from right to left. Again, they go with the delay handoff to Butler. This time he's not going to escape. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Goes forward for about a yard or 2, and it'll be a short pickup on 1st down for Terrence Butler.
And that's a very good job by the Roseburg's defensive line there, being able to fill the gaps and get back there, not allowing any room to run anywhere.
Butler picks up 1 on the play. South Medford will huddle up. They've been running a mix of huddle and no huddle tonight. They'll break and head to the line. It's Butler in the backfield still. Leading ball carrier for the South Medford offense. Came into tonight 428 yards on 84 carries. He'll get another one here, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's Ethan Stoner making the tackle for loss, dropping Butler back 1 yard.
Really good play call by Roseburg right there. They've noticed that South Medford last couple times has been trying to run up the middle, either the right side on up the middle or the left side up the middle. Oh, and so they actually call up the right blitz for Stoner to come in there and bring him down.
Roseburg will now have to try and protect on 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 34-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 24. South Medford, 2 backs in the backfield. No tight end. Twins to the right side looking to pass. Botero dropping back, has time, goes on a shorter route. It's caught. And 1st down at the 20. The comeback route, it's Marthowski. He came in with 1 catch to tonight's game. He's had 2, and one of them was a 43-yard touchdown catch.
And that's a really good catch right there. He was able to get his arms underneath as he was diving to the ground and back towards the ball.
14 yards on the pickup for Marthovsky. 57 yards total for him tonight. He's almost doubled his season total in one game. Handoff to Butler, running right side for the Panthers. He gets into the secondary and goes out on the sideline. He has almost got set up first and goal. They get it down to the 10. Does it move the chains? Haven't seen an official say to move them. They are going to move the chains. It'll be first down and goal from the 10 for South Medford. And even 10 yards on the pickup for Butler. He'll set up at the left side of the offensive line. Tied into the right for the Panthers. In the backfield is DeVries. Botero up to the line to call out the coverage. 2 targets to his left side. Botero gets the shotgun snap, hands it off. DeVries running right side, down just shy of the 5. He'll get taken down at the 6. Coming up in the middle, Thomas Ruth making the stop.
That's a huge stop right there. They need to hurry up and get a couple more stops or takeaway right now. Build some momentum, build some confidence in this Roseburg team.
Been a long, sustaining drive here for South. 7:44 to go in the second quarter. Right now, South leading 6-0, looking to add to that as they charge towards the end zone that says North. They share this facility with North Medford. South in the backfield, you've got Botero looking to the sideline for the play call. With him, Butler sets up on the right side. Hand it to him, stretching it to the far side. Tries to kick it back in the middle. He'll get inside the 5. Taken down at the 3. And it'll be third down and goal from the 3 for South.
Yeah, it was Ethan Stoner right there that was able to wrap his feet up and bring him down.
75 yards so far tonight for Terrence Butler out of the backfield. Butler, a senior running back, 5'10", 185 pounds. They'll set up to the right of Botero. To the left is DeVries, and now they move him in motion. And a timeout down on the field. Yep, that's going to be the call. South Medford wants a moment to talk about it. We'll go ahead and take a quick break as well. 30-second break when we come back. Third down and goal from the 3 for the Panthers, leading 6-0 here in the second quarter on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Out of the timeout with 6:42 to go. South Medford will set up third down and goal from the 3, trying to add to a 6-0 lead. Botero in shotgun. He's got Butler to his left. Hands it off to him, running right side, across the goal line and in. A 3-yard touchdown strike for Terrence Butler. And the senior back will add his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And, Josh, that is twice now that South Medford, out of a timeout, has been able to come out and draw up a touchdown play against Roseburg here in the first half.
Yeah, and there was a miscommunication. Mandera was trying to signal to the sideline that something wasn't right. So I thought, well, that's perfect. Roseburg can get that fixed and figure it out real quick. And instead, they give up a touchdown right afterwards.
6 points on the board, 12-0 for South Medford. They missed the PAT the first time, so they're going for 2. Trips to the right side. Botero moves one man in motion. Nunez faked the handoff to him. Now racing, trying to get away. Throw to the end zone, incomplete. And the 2-point attempt will fail. And South will remain up 12-0. Our score, South Medford in front with 6:37 to go here in the first half of tonight's ball game. We'll take another quick 30-second break. We'll come back with more of the action from Spiegelberg Stadium here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
$12-0 our score. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop, and by our friends at Good Vibrations, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Kickoff away, left to right on the radio dial. Roseburg receiving. That one's going to skip into the end zone past Ethan Stoner for a touchback, and Roseburg will once again have the ball starting at their own 20-yard line. All three of their drives so far have all been touchbacks to start at the 20. So far for Roseburg, it feels like their last drive, obviously their best moving into South Territory, but it was a high snap past Colin Warmoth that doomed that drive. They need to try and clean things up here on their third drive of the night.
Yeah, they need to clean it up and get this ball moving if they want any chance to stay in this ball game. If they can't get something going into this drive, it's going to be pretty close to halftime. The game will be halfway over with.
Roseburg will set up 1st and 10 from their 20. Warmoth in shotgun, two backs there with him. Hands it off to Stoner, running right side, trying to find the gap. He'll get out to the 21-yard line. And that'll be it for the running back, Ethan Stoner. He had limited action coming into tonight's game at the running back position. Just 3 carries and 6 yards for the senior. But that was his second carry of the night, picking up 1.
And he was really patient right there to even get that 1 yard. He didn't look like he'd get anything, and he was patient enough to wait for something to open up, and he was able to get that 1 yard.
Stoner and Mandera will be in the backfield along with Warmoth. 2 targets to the right side of the formation for Warmoth, looking at 2nd down and 9. Quick pass near side to Adams. He's got some space to work. Shimmy Shake gets to the sideline. He will make a cut back in the middle of the field, and now he's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 10. D'Angelo Adams to the house for a touchdown, and Roseburg, just like that, is back in this ball game. That one comes from way downtown. That's going to be a 79-yard touchdown pass, longest of the season for Adams and Warmoth, and Roseburg's back into this one.
Very, very huge play by Roseburg. That's the kind of play that Adams, I've been waiting for all season long, that you've seen the potential that could happen with Adams, and that's exactly what happens. He is a playmaker for this Roseburg team, and you better watch out because he could do it several more times this season.
Well, he had plenty of space. The defensive back was playing well off, and I thought it almost took him too long to try and make his move to get free, but man, is he fast. Should note Thomas Ruth on the bench looking like he's maybe dealing with a little bit of pain. Hopefully he's okay. Big guy along the line on both sides of the ball for Roseburg. Timeout on the field. Roseburg, as we mentioned earlier, 3 players suspended, kicked off the team for the rest of the year. One of those was their place kicker. And so they are breaking in new guys for kicking duties, and they're also possibly reconsidering maybe looking at going for 2 here with Roseburg trailing 12-6. They do call a timeout down on the field. We'll keep it right here. Double check. I do believe, well, it looks like the scoreboard has not been subtracting timeouts throughout this first half. I believe Roseburg still with 1 timeout left in the first half. It is a 12-6 score. Roseburg on the board, 5:39 to go here in the second quarter.
Thomas Ruth, part of his helmet, his earpiece came off. It looked like one of the players actually dropped it back in his helmet, but he's holding his head as if he had banged his head up against something on his helmet or something like that.
So they will go for the PAT here. Kicking is going to be Hunter Hilliard. Placement down. The kick is blocked. South Medford will come up with the stop, and that has got that South Medford sideline jazzed up. Still, Roseburg cuts the deficit in half. They trail 12-6. Second quarter action will return after this on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
Well, the Roseburg Indians get the response they needed, a 79-yard touchdown play from Colin Warmouth to D'Angelo Adams, and Adams does most of the work with his feet. It was a short pass to the sideline, and he gave a little juke move, gets around his defender, and then outraces the rest of the defense, going 79 yards to the house. That's the big explosion play Roseburg needed there.
That is a huge explosion play right there. That gives them a lot of momentum coming in. The missed field or extra point kind of brings that momentum down a little bit, but they do have the momentum still. It's on their side. They need to get a takeaway right now.
That drive only took 58 seconds. Carson Ellis will kick it away to the 15. Return there for South. It's DeVries. He's going to take it to the other side of the field. DeVries down the sideline, and he's going to break free from 1 foot tackle, and he is chased out of bounds. That's going to be right around the 26-yard line. Well, the momentum, South Medford stealing it right back with a big kickoff return.
Yeah, they took it right back in. Right there, Isaiah Moore came out and was able to run him out of bounds, which is great. But what happened was on that kickoff, they didn't control their lanes. They didn't stay in their lanes. So that far side, they had cut back over. The receiver of the football realized it. He got it all the way back and was able to pick up that huge gain.
They'll set the ball up at the 26-yard line. Roseburg half of the field. Short field to work with for the Panthers, leading 12-6. 5:25 to go first half. Homecoming night tonight for the Panthers. They move. Nunez in motion. Late handoff. Butler tried to cut back to the left side of the field, and in the backfield is the Roseburg defense. Brelage getting in there, getting a hand, along with Gage Hill.
That was huge right there to get this stop. They need to keep bringing this ball back right now, at least get South Medford out of that field goal range.
No gain on the first down carry. It has been that similar play we've seen a few times now from the Panthers. Roseburg starting to recognize it as they see it. Second down and 10. 2 targets to the right side. They'll hand it off. Butler, he'll bounce it outside the tackle. Tries to give a little wiggle of the hips to see if he can lose the defenders. Not much, but he will pick up about 6 down to the 20. It'll make it 3rd down and 4.
And that was an option play there for South Medford. They could either hand the ball off or there was a bubble screen set up where the slot receiver bounced back in order to catch the ball and get a block. But instead they decided to run that ball to this near side here.
South has only kicked 1 field goal so far this season, so this could be 4-down territory. 3rd down and 4 here. Patero in shotgun. He'll move DeBoer in motion, right to left, hands it off to him, trying to stretch it to the far side of the field. Cuts it up, back at the hash mark. He will fall forward down to about the 15, and that should move the chains. He just did a nice job of staying on his feet and weaving through traffic. Falls forward, picks up the necessary yardage to move the sticks.
Well, and Roseburg's defenders did a great job at closing that outside, and he realized that and cut that ball back inside where there was really nobody there.
So DeBoer on his first carry, an end-around sweep for the wide receiver, picks up 5. 1st and 10 from the 15 for South Medford. Clock ticking, 3:43 to go. Patero looking to the sideline to get the call. He's got Butler, who will move to the right. In shotgun. Quick snap, quick pass near side, and airmailed to the sideline for Gio Patero. He intended that one for Nunez, and it goes out of bounds for an incompletion, stops the clock with 3:29 to go in the first half.
And that right there was one of those bubble screens right there where it was a quick pass to number 9 there, and then he just overthrew him. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just overthrew him.
Doran Gillespie will check into the game for Caden Gingrey. who will check out. They add an extra linebacker for the next play. It's second down and 10. They can get a first down inside the 5. South Medford trying to stretch the score back out to a 2-score lead. Right now on top 12-6 as we near the 3-minute mark of this first half. Patero in shotgun and a penalty flag out from the back judge, and it's a delay of game on South Medford.
And that's a huge play right there, as long as Roseburg will take that penalty and use it to their advantage.
Well, that has been the case most of the season. Roseburg needing to take advantage of miscues by their opponent. Ball back to the 20-yard line, a loss of 5. It'll make it second down and 15. Second penalty of this second quarter for South Medford. The Panthers at the Roseburg 20, and a timeout down on the field. South Medford using their final timeout of the first half with 3:14 to go, leading at 12-6. We'll take a quick break as we bring you Roseburg football on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg football online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Out of the timeout by South Medford, their last of the first half. Roseburg looking to try and avoid a trend we've seen so far. Out of timeout, South Medford's been able to score their first 2 touchdowns. Big chance to try and respond here on second down and 15.
And Roseburg's playing the pass right now. They got it's a 3-4 defense.
Tight end coming in, open. They go to the end zone, and it's tipped up, almost intercepted. I think I could hear the coaches in the booth next to us. They were expecting the play to go to the tight end. He was open for a moment, but it was Garrett Zimet, the sophomore, who gets a chance to play here tonight, that gets his hands on it, and he's a little disappointed he didn't pick that off.
Yeah, he's cupping his hands right now. He knows he probably should have had that, and that's one of those things is he's wearing those gloves right there, and whether or not that played a hand in him, the ball slipping out of his hand, we'll never know.
It'll be third down and 15 now for South Medford. 2 targets to the right side of the field, 1 to the left for Botero. Got a tight end on the left side of the formation. Stands in the pocket, throwing to the end zone. Is the ball still in the hands of the receiver? It is. Touchdown, South Medford. Touchdown catch to Austin Boster. That is his 7th touchdown reception of the season. This time it comes from 20 yards out. And South Medford will add another score before the halftime break.
And Isaiah Moore was there in covering the receiver there. And he just allowed him to pretty much get blocked out of the play.
Second catch of the night for Boster, his first for positive yardage. First touchdown grab of the night, 18-6. PAT unit will come out for South. They've been splitting duties with place kickers. Kicking is Ryan Flores, and he will make the first PAT of the night for the Panthers. His 7th of the season, and with that, it's now 19-6. South Medford in front by 13. Go ahead and take a 30-second break, and we'll come back with the rest of this second quarter action for you. You're listening to Roseburg Football on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
South Medford leading 19-6 with exactly 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Roseburg deep to return on the ensuing kickoff. Kick is away, high end over end kick. It'll go to the 8-yard line, taken by Stoner. Up the right hash marks, and he's tripped up at the ankles at the 20. And for a fourth straight possession, this time not a touchback, but Roseburg will start at their own 20.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this is going to be the fourth time they get started on their 20, and this was them actually receiving the ball and bringing it back, which is unfortunate. But we also saw how fast Roseburg can score from the 20-yard line the last time they had the ball.
The last time it was a 79-yard touchdown strike by D'Angelo Adams. He spreads out wide left, trips to the left of the formation. Gillespie is in the middle. Herskovitz is closest to the line. Warmouth turns and hands it running up the middle is Zach Mandera. He'll hang on to the football, and he'll gain about 4 on the first down carry. As Zach Mandera getting most of the carries so far tonight out of the backfield for Roseburg, along with Ethan Stoner.
Yeah, and that's all because of what had happened earlier this week with a couple of their players.
Garrett Zymet checks out of the formation. Roseburg will again have trips to the left side. Warmouth hands it off. Mandera finds room around the edge. He will spin off a one-tackler and goes out to the 34-yard line, moves the chains for Roseburg on a pickup of 10. That'll stop the clock momentarily, down to 2:11 to go here in the first half.
And that was a really good run by Mandera. He actually found the hole, and he kept trying to find a space to run the ball, advance those chains. Instead of normally when we normally see him rush the ball, he normally tries to find the first guy he can hit and lower his shoulder.
Roseburg will receive the ball to start the second half, so I think they want to use this drive to eat up the clock and get one final score before the break. Hand it off, running right side, it's Mandera. He tucks the football away as he gets upended. 2 guys in at the waist, sending him up and over as he gets out across the 40. It'll be second down and short, about 2 yards still to go after an 8-yard pickup.
But right now they need to control the clock because they do get it back at halftime, but they also need to get this ball moved down the field a little bit.
1:30 to go in the first half. Snap goes through the hands for Warmouth. He'll pick it up. He'll race through the middle. Things open up on the scramble play through the middle. He gets taken down just across the 50, and that'll move the chains for Roseburg. Warmouth does a nice job to make something out of nothing, and it moves the chains, but we saw him a little dinged up earlier. Thomas Ruth slow to get up after that play, and he heads back up looking to try and stay on the field, and the big man will line up at that left tackle position.
No, they're going to pull him out right now and replace him with number 57, Hunter Hillard.
They move into South Medford territory at the 49, a pickup of 8 on that scramble by Warmouth. He sets up in shotgun, 1:10 to go. First half. Roseburg trying to charge into South Medford territory. Hand it off. No, keeper for Warmouth. Running left side. Things open up. He tries to follow his blockers, reverts back to his left, and goes down inside the 40 to the 38. It stops the clock as they pick up the first down. And Coach Heiberger's there right next to the line judge trying to make sure that the clock doesn't get going too fast. And the clock will start to run again. Up to the line come the Roseburg Indians. Ball at the 38-yard line. And Roseburg will use a timeout.
And it's a good time to use a timeout right here. But I can see what Roseburg's doing. They're trying to rush the ball. That's going to open up that play, that passing game, going to give Adams a better chance at scoring. But at the same time, coming in using this timeout right now, they need to have 4 or 5 plays ready to go back to back so they can get into that end zone before halftime.
Well, they'll have all of 46 seconds to go before that halftime break. They've gotten a drive that has gotten them into South Medford territory, and so start to see them maybe try and air it out towards the end zone. Maybe some of those quick passes to the side and see if they can get it in the hands of D'Angelo Adams.
I wouldn't mind even one more run just to make them think that they're going to play run, to open that up for Adams a little bit more.
Ball's at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for Roseburg. I believe they're out of timeouts. They're not keeping track of that up on the scoreboard here at Spiegelberg. Warmoth in shotgun. He's got Mandera to his right. Trips to the right side of the formation. Pump fake to Adams once. Trying to go downfield to him into double coverage. Overthrown. Some contact, but no penalty flag will come out. That one well overthrown. A little worried there that South Medford might have had a beat on that one, but nobody able to get to the pass from Warmoth.
Very well overthrown on that one, and very good play on off for Adams going to the ground, acting like he got hit there, trying to get that penalty flag. It was a really good play off there.
Looks like it's just hazy now out there. Not seeing much rain at the moment. Expecting things to dry out a bit as the night wears on, but it was heavy rains when we arrived here in Medford. Second down play. It's a keeper for Warmoth again. Jukes out of one tackle. Tries to cut back. He'll slide through another. Still on his feet. He goes to the 30 and will get slammed back down by about 3 guys. And they've got to get this ball up on the line of scrimmage and get it snapped. They've got third down, so they've got to move quick here. 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Ball at the 30. That was a pickup of 8 on that run by Warmoth. He's in shotgun. It's got to go quick. They give the handoff to Gillespie running right side, and penalty flags out as they stop the play before it gets, as it's in the process of happening, actually. And I believe it's going to be a penalty against Roseburg. 7 seconds on the game clock. It is a false start against Roseburg. But that play wore off some time off the clock before they got everything stopped, and so you've got 7 seconds left.
And right now it's just going to have to be a deep pass to the end zone to Adams or anybody that may be able to get open.
The penalty goes against Roseburg back to the 35. They will start the clock. 3, 2, and Warmoth does get the snap in time. Pressure coming. Horn will sound. Warmoth, pressure all over him, still on his feet. He'll throw it in the end zone. And incomplete, trying to find Eddie Herskovitz on a desperation heave to the end zone. Roseburg will finish out the first half, trailing 19-6 against South Medford. Some reason to believe that a second half comeback is in the works for this Roseburg team. A nice drive that just got burnt out by the clock there to finish out the first half. Roseburg will receive the kick in the second half, and we'll talk about plenty of what might be coming up for this Roseburg football team after the break. It is halftime, an extended halftime show coming up for you, folks, so do not go anywhere. We'll recap the first half action when we return. At the break, it's 19-6. South Medford leading the Roseburg Indians tonight here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490, The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at halftime from Spiegelberg Stadium, the Roseburg Indians and the South Medford Panthers squaring off tonight in a Southwest Conference matchup. It is the Southwest Conference opener for South Medford, who comes in 4-1 on the year, and they are looking to go to 1-0 in conference play as they look to repeat as conference champs. Meanwhile, for the Roseburg Indians, they are 0-1 in Southwest Conference play and 1-4 on the season. And at the halftime break, our score, 19-6, South Medford in front of the Roseburg Indians. Joey Keyran with you, Josh Nelson here at Spiegelberg with me. Back in the studio, a big thanks to Chance Terrell for running things on the radio side of tonight's broadcast. As we take a look at the first half of action here, Josh, Roseburg had a couple of drives look very good. One of them stalled out thanks to a high snap that ended up dropping Roseburg back for a significant loss. The second drive that didn't end up in points ended up being one that was just stalled out because of the game clock in the end of the first half. But Roseburg showing some positive momentum against this South team, but unfortunately they haven't been able to keep the Panthers out of the end zone as they score 3 times in the first half. This South Medford squad comes in on the season, averaging 28.4 points per game. They put up 19 in the first half. Some positives, some negatives, but Roseburg showing they can hang with this South Medford team, but they are going to have to find ways to put a little bit more together as we get ready for the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to come out fast and strong, and they're going to have to get South Medford get the ball back from them and quit allowing South Medford's offense to continuously run the clock, keep the ball in their possession, because right now I believe South Medford probably owns that time of possession by far. And they're every single time they're scoring, but they're taking a lot of time off the clock to do so. So Roseburg needs to score really fast, but then they need to get the ball back really fast as well.
Well, both teams had the ball 4 times in that first half. It has been a very different half of football so far than what we've seen in Roseburg's previous games. A lot of them have been back and forth, multiple possessions by both teams in each quarter, making things drag out a little bit longer throughout the first half or through both halves of the game. This one, the clock kept running. There was limited possessions from both sides, long drives that kept the clock moving and kept the offenses out on the field for either team. Very different, and it was actually a pretty quick first half in tonight's contest.
Yeah, it's a very quick first half compared to what we've been seeing, and part of that has to do with the weather tonight. The weather tonight has been wet. You can see the sparkle of the water on the field from way up top here, so you know it's wet down there. Every time the ball touches the ground, it's getting a little bit wet, and so it's forcing both teams to have to run the ball. Both teams are running the exact same type of defense from what I've seen so far. It's mainly a 3-4 with sending a blitz here or there from the outside to the inside, and it's allowing them to get up the field and actually make some good running lanes for the running backs.
Well, our score at halftime, 19-6. Taking a look at your scoring summary from the first half. South Medford scored on the first possession of the game out of a timeout. They came out with a 43-yard touchdown strike. It was Gio Botero connecting with his wide receiver, a senior, Trevor Marthowski, who scores his first touchdown of the season on just his second catch of the year. It came from 43 yards out. The missed PAT made it 6-0. South Medford leading. That was your score at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, South Medford had a drive that started in the first and goes into the second quarter, and it was a long, lengthy drive as it ended up being 14 plays out of a timeout. Once again, it was a touchdown run, this time 3 yards out, making the score. Terrence Butler puts it in. The 2-point attempt failed, and South Medford led 12-0 with 6:37 to go in the first half. But Roseburg on their next possession, they strike quick. Took only 58 minutes as the Indians need just 2 plays to go a total of 80 yards, and most of that comes on one play. It was Colin Warmoth connecting with D'Angelo Adams for a 79-yard touchdown strike, and most of the work done by Adams with his legs, outracing the defense, and the kick was extra point was blocked, made it 12-6. South Medford in front, but the Panthers would respond on their next possession, driving down the field, and Roseburg looked like they might have a stop on their hands, but a 20 60-yard touchdown pass from Botero, connecting with Austin Boster for the first time tonight in the end zone. Boster making the play. And that would put South Medford up 19-6 before the end of the first half. Roseburg charged into South Medford territory but ran out of time in the first half to try and get a score on the board before the break. Roseburg will receive the second half kick, so we'll see if they can come out and get the score back down to a one-possession game. But we'll take a look at some of the stats from this one when we come back. We'll continue with more of your Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Or excuse me, it is the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Get that sponsorship right there. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Give them a call at 673-0363. At halftime, our score, it's 19-6. And South Medford in front on their homecoming night. And at the break, we are getting entertained by the South Medford Marching Band, doing a nice job tonight as they play for the home crowd on the far sideline. We'll take the 2-minute break, come back with more of the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show after this on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
We welcome you back here to Spiegelberg Stadium where the Roseburg Indians trail 19-6 here at halftime. It's your Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Give them a call at 673-0363. They are announcing the homecoming court out at midfield here during homecoming night for the South Medford Panthers. It's time now for us to take a look at some of our first half statistics from tonight's ball game. That's brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1931. First for the South Medford Panthers in the first half, Gio Botero, 7 for 10 and 104 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And on the ground for South Medford, Terrence Butler, 15 carries, 84 yards. He does have 1 touchdown run. And his teammate in the backfield, Mason DeVries, a 4 carries for 12 yards tonight, and Trent DeBoer had 1 carry for 5 yards in the first half. Along with that, your receiving yards, 2 catches for 17 yards for Austin Boster. He had 1 touchdown. Trent DeBoer, 2 catches, 21 yards. And Trevor Marthowski had 2 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. And out of the backfield, Terrence Butler, 1 catch for 9 yards. On the other side for Roseburg, Colin Warmoth, 1 of 4 passing in the first half, 79 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Zach Mandera, 6 carries, 32 yards. Colin Warmouth, 6 carries, 32 yards. Ethan Stoner, 2 carries, 5 yards. And D'Angelo Adams, 1 carry, 9 yards. Adams has the lone reception for 79 yards and a touchdown. And that is a look at your first half statistics, brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1931. They announced the homecoming queen, I believe. A loud celebration down on the field from the student section here at South Medford High School. So that is your look at the first half statistics from this one. We'll have another look in the postgame show with your final statistics from tonight's ball game. Also want to let you know, coming up in the postgame show, we will have our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. We will announce that, so stay tuned after the game as we announce this evening's Legendary Player of the Game. Well, we also want to take a look at some of your scores from around the region here tonight as we take a look at our Douglas County scoreboard update. Josh has been working diligently to try and find some scores from games going on, scores of note from the Southwest Conference and around the Umpqua Basin. What kind of things have you compiled so far?
So I've only got a couple here, and it looks like at halftime, Riddle leads Days Creek 22-8. And then at halftime as well, Harrisburg leads Sutherland 13-7. And then in Southwest Conference, North Medford is at Grants Pass. North Medford's on top, 21-14 at half. And then Sheldon is playing Jesuit tonight, and Sheldon is at half as well, and they are leading 27-14.
So did you say North Medford is beating Grants Pass at the moment?
North Medford is beating Grants Pass right now at halftime, 21-14.
Wow, okay. Well, Roseburg will be taking on North Medford next week. You know it's going to be another big test for the Roseburg Indians as they get ready to take on North Medford coming up next week at home. I haven't confirmed this, but I've got a suspicion that next week is going to be homecoming night for the Roseburg Indians as they host North Medford for that one. All right, we are going to take a final 60-second break. We'll come back. We'll start previewing the upcoming second half of action for Roseburg and South Medford. Plenty of time left to go in this one. The Indians trailing the Panthers 19-6 at the break. We'll come back after a quick 60-second break here on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
An extended halftime break as Roseburg and South Medford meet up on the Panthers' homecoming night here tonight. So we got a little bit extra time as we wrap up the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show and get you ready for the start of the second half of action here tonight. Well, it was a competitive first half, and Roseburg showing some signs of having some success out there against the Panthers. They'll just need to put it together and have an efficient second half as they trail by 13 to begin the second half here in just a few moments. But Josh, looking at that first half, how did the first half match up with what you had said is some keys to the game for tonight? I know we ran through those in the pregame show. How do you feel like Roseburg did on those keys to the game, and how do you feel like it affected what we saw here this evening?
So far they've done great. No turnovers either side. has had no turnovers. And I contribute that, like I said, to the weather. Now then, my biggest concern was their excitement coming up into this game and stuff like that. And I haven't seen – they started out really sluggish. They got a little bit of hype when they got that touchdown pass to D'Angelo Adams. And then right after that, South Medford took that hype right back away. And I just haven't seen Roseburg really feel like they're getting into this game. They need to continue with that excitement. They need to show that they can play football all the way through in the Southwest Conference. And right now, South Medford is pretty much taking advantage of everything that Roseburg is doing.
Roseburg trailing by 13. They get the ball to start the second half, and as the Roseburg Indians look to try and come out, how important is these first 3 minutes of the second half for Roseburg to try and set the tone for the second half? To me, it almost seems imperative that they get a score on the first possession after the break.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to score, and they need to score quick, and within 3 minutes is a perfect time for them to do so. But not only do they need to score, once they do score, they need to get that ball back into their hands. So that means they need to make sure that they either force a turnover or get a 3-and-out off this South Medford team and then go and score again. Right now, Roseburg's been doing great all night long. They've only had 2 penalties for 10 yards, where South Medford has had 3 penalties for 20 yards. So really, both teams are playing very, very disciplined, well-disciplined against each other. There is a little bit of talking back and forth, as you can see. A couple Roseburg players are waving their hands at the Medford players. A couple Medford players are doing the same. So there is a little bit of talking back and forth, but they're playing very disciplined overall.
We get ready for the second half. The Panthers will retake the field. Roseburg will be back out on the field here momentarily. Want to let you know tonight's game is brought to you by our friends at Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Also want to say thanks to our friends at Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or you can give them a call as well. I don't have the phone number written down at the moment. Want to also say thanks to Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and I-5RV. Make sure to visit I-5RV and find your new adventure for as low as 0% down and $149 a month. I-5RV in Sutherland, now under new management. And thanks to Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Also wanted to make note tonight, the first home league game of the season, and I believe it's really only the second home league, or only the second home match of the season for the Umpqua Riverhawks. They're hosting Lynn Benton tonight, a big showdown there. Lynn Benton, the Southern Region leaders, and Umpqua trying to get a big victory there. That one started at 6:30 tonight. I have to imagine that game has wrapped up. We'll see if we can find some score updates on Umpqua volleyball for you tonight, as they are out at home there at UCC. So kind of interesting, following all the action going on around the Umpqua Basin. And, of course, coming up tomorrow, we've got college football action for you. We did have some college football tonight. You had noticed a couple of scores on some games around the world of college football this evening. Did you have any there that you can give us a quick update on there, Josh?
Yeah, let's see. It looks like today's game, Georgia Tech beat Louisville 66-31, and then Marshall lost to Middle Tennessee 24-34. And right now the big rivalry in Utah State and BYU. Utah State leads BYU 28-7 with 8:27 left in the third quarter.
All right, a couple updates there. Did you have a South Umpqua score earlier when you gave us a look around?
I did not. So
looks like reporting at half, Cascade Christian taking it to South Umpqua 38-0 there. That was going to be a tall task for the Lancers, who have been banged up with injuries, and that's a tough one for them, but they trail 38-0 at halftime. We take a look. I was trying to see if I could find an update on that UCC matchup, and we'll see if we can find anything to help pass along for you on that one. We are getting ready. Roseburg back out on the field. Again, they will receive to open up the second half.
Now, may want to take a note here real quick. this is one of the first times that Roseburg's team this year has gone to halftime before all the other teams have gone to halftime.
Oh, that's true.
We're actually looking at scores, trying to get scores, and nobody's at halftime. And Roseburg is at halftime, and then all of a sudden everybody starts popping up at halftime showing what their scores are.
That is true. We seem to be kind of right around the same line as everybody else. Here's a score: Glendale 28, Myrtle Point nothing. Did you have that one?
I did not have that one.
Glendale beating Myrtle Point 28-0 at halftime, so another score for us there. And this is all while I'm trying to find the UCC update. And we'll keep looking for that. I should be able to find it here momentarily. If I probably just did a search, I'd probably have better luck of doing that. We're getting ready for the second half. Roseburg's offense going to get a chance to be out on the field first. We'll hopefully see them find their way to stay in this one.
That Riddle game right now, it's going to be interesting. Riddle being 22, Days Creek 8, leading into next week if Riddle walks away with this win, and then going into next week with Camas Valley.
Looks like the only update I had was the Riverhawks actually won the opening game 25-18 against Lynn Benton. So that's a big way to start out that home match against the Roadrunners. Well, no update, though, on how that one continued to finish out. We'll try and see if we can get a score for you. All righty. Roseburg will head out there. They'll be returning right to left wearing the road whites. For those that might be watching online at 541radio.com, keeping everybody straight out there. Kicking away in the blue tops, the white trousers. The Panthers will be kicking left to right. Get ready to begin the second half. 12 minutes on the clock. Kick is away. It'll be a short one. Bounces at the 14. Stoner will take it. Tries to make the first man miss. He does. He gets across the 20. And just like that, Roseburg will have its best field position to start out a drive as they start at their own 23-yard line.
Hey, they got past the 20 this time. And then if you notice, Ethan Stoner and D'Angelo Adams switched spot on that return side. They were hoping that they would kick that ball to D'Angelo Adams, see if he could pick up even more yards.
Oh, we come out, start the third quarter. We only get to play two halves. Offense out on the field. The rain has subsided, but it has been wet here today. Warmoth in shotgun. He's got Mandera to his right. He's been the featured running back tonight for Roseburg, weaving through the middle. They lost the football. He was down. No whistle. And they are going to say second down. The ball did come loose. South Medford trying to say they had the football, but it sure did look like Mandera had gone down. He does get it out to the 28-yard line, and that is where Roseburg will have second down.
That was a really good call for Roseburg right there. I think they actually got away with one because I was watching Mandera down, and I didn't see the ball in his hand at all the entire time.
Come out second down and about 5 to go for Roseburg from their own 28. Warmoth in shotgun. They send a blitz, and up the middle, Mandera attacks it. He slips through a tackle, weaving through the defense, and he's across the 50. And Zach Mandera, who's not been used much as a typical running back, moves the chains on what looked like a very aggressive running play.
Yeah, very, very good. Eyes open. He kind of let everything open up for him before he completely went downhill with it. So it was very, very good run by Mandera.
Well, he'll make it. They get to the 48, south half of the field. So give Mandera 24 yards on that carry. That's his longest of the season. 65 yards tonight for Mandera. They give it. No, it's a pull. Keep it. And running left side. Running with it, Warmoth gets back to the line of scrimmage. The option there at South Medford front had it sniffed out.
Yeah, they sniffed it out, and it didn't matter which direction they went with that because either they hand it off to Mandera, he gets tackled, or Warmoth kept the ball and he got tackled. The defensive line there stayed back. They were waiting to see who got the ball and then tackled him pretty much for no gain.
Spread out wide to the right side is Gillespie, Herskovitz, and Zymet. Adams alone to the left for Warmoth, second down and 10. Checking his wristband, Warmoth will now yell out to the receivers on the right side. And a timeout called by the Indians. This time the penalty flag is out, but I think Roseburg calls the timeout before that penalty flag comes out as play clock was winding down. So Roseburg will burn its first timeout of the second half. 19-6 our score. We'll keep it right here. Third quarter action, 9:56 to go.
Yeah, and they officially now just give Roseburg the timeout there. They wave off the flag for delay of game. And that's one of the first times right there in a couple weeks that we've seen Roseburg calling off the plays, and then they're actually checking the wristbands beforehand. Normally, the last couple weeks, we've seen them go to a huddle. They come up with a plan in the huddle, and they pretty much check with it, and they were checking out of a play. And we haven't seen Roseburg do that pretty much, I think, since week 2 or 3.
Well, they'll have a big play coming up here, 2nd down and 10 from the South Medford 48. Roseburg needing to try and capitalize on their opening drive of the second half. A score would cut it down to a one-possession game. Half the field to go for the Indians. Out of the timeout, Warmoth in shotgun. He'll have Mandera to his left. Gillespie and Adams spread to the left side of the formation. 2 targets to their wide side. Looking to that right side on the slant route, it's Zymet. And Zymet got met with a lot of defenders around him and no penalty flag out. A very awkward play for the sophomore who got kind of tripped up and had a guy coming in right around the neck area.
Yeah, really surprised the flag wasn't thrown there. It almost looked like he was diving right there. Aaron almost got a helmet-to-helmet contact. It wasn't quite helmet-to-helmet, but he was almost like a spearing play.
The incompletion stops the clock with 9:51 to go, and it's a 3rd and 10 here in the third quarter. Roseburg's opening drive of the second half. Warmoth trying to move the chains. South Medford showing a blitz. They go with the screen, and somehow Gillespie makes the catch in the middle of the field, uses a blocker, sheds a tackler. He's down to the 20 and taken down as Roseburg comes up with a huge third down conversion.
So that's the second time that we've seen that inside screen that Roseburg's done in the last 2 games. Before that, they hadn't used that inside screen, and it was perfect right there. The defense was coming on a blitz with that inside backer coming right down that A-gap, and it was perfect timing because everybody started coming on a defensive line, and Roseburg was able to pick up those huge yards.
I don't know how Gillespie caught it with his teammate right next to him. Adams will move in motion left to right. He gets the handoff around a man in the backfield. Now a couple of juke moves, makes a swim move, still on his feet, trying to cut back the other direction. He's going to lose yardage just trying to make something happen. He's got great speed, but that time it almost would have been better just to go down right around the 20.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been a lot better if he would have just gone down. You hate watching a player run backwards, especially when he's kind of all tangled up a little bit. You know he's going to go down, and the further he keeps running backwards, the further a loss that they're going to pick up, and that's exactly what happened there.
Loss of 5 on the play for Adams. Just kind of got bottled up, and it seems as if we're waiting on a call, possibly on a penalty. Penalty is declined. Did you happen to catch what the penalty was for? I never even saw the penalty flag out
It looked
there.
like an illegal shift, maybe.
That might have been the case.
But it was declined, so it doesn't go against Roseburg.
With the loss of yards, South Medford electing to just take it, and Roseburg losing the down there. So it'll be 2nd and 15 for Roseburg. Got to get to the 10 for the first down. Warmoth is in shotgun. Adams and Gillespie to his left. Hershkovitz and Moore to the right. Fake a couple of handoffs. Give it to Mandera running left side. Tucks it in as he goes inside the 20. Rolls over the top of a defender as he had a couple of guys sandwiching him. He'll get down to the 18-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and long for Roseburg.
And Roseburg right there, South Medford's defense was playing man, which is perfect for whenever they're when Adams is up against the guy that's playing man, because normally he can get behind his defender, and I don't think they saw that.
They'll spread him out here. Trips to the right side. 2 men marking D'Angelo Adams. Mandera in the backfield. They will go a keeper for Warmoth, and he's going to come up shy of the first down marker down to the 12. He needed 2 more yards, and a penalty flag out late on the far side of the field, away from the action. Wait to see what this penalty is about.
It looks like the line judge is actually pointing out number 66 of Medford, South Medford.
Might have been some extracurriculars at the back end of the play on the far side. As it stands right now, Warmouth down to the 12. And it's a personal foul against Roseburg.
Dead ball personal foul.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
And that's a huge penalty right there. Roseburg did not need that penalty.
I did not see what the penalty was going to be for, but they'll count it off from the 12. So 15 yards back. Should be the 27. And that is where Roseburg will have the football. It will be fourth down.
It was a dead ball personal foul. So it's something that they did after the play was over with, and that's inexcusable by Roseburg.
They will send the offense out. Warmouth is also the punter, so we'll see if he maybe drops back a few yards and tries to kick it, but Roseburg kind of in between land. Warmouth in shotgun. He's got Mandera to his right, Stoner to his left. Pressure coming. Send it out into the flats to Mandera. Running right side. He's just going to try and make something. He was well shy of the first down, and Roseburg will turn it over on downs. Another opportunity for Roseburg, and once again, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, absolutely. They sat there, like you said, shot themselves in the foot, and they're going to have to suffer the consequences of that, giving the ball back to South Medford. They did a great job at holding on to the ball and moving it down the field until that penalty, and then it's just a personal penalty on an individual player who wasn't thinking about the team but thinking about themselves at the time.
South will take over at their own 24 on the turnover on downs. Out there, the offense. Patero will send it out in the flats. It's out to Butler. He's got men in front of him. He's got great speed, but credit Doran Gillespie coming up with a huge stop as he reaches for the tackle and brings down Butler right at the first down line. Out to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 11.
Doran Gillespie did a great job at shedding his block right there to be able to grab him right there. They had Warmouth moved all the way over to that far side of the field, and so there was nobody else there except for Gillespie to pick up that tackle. If he didn't pick up that tackle, it could have very well been a touchdown.
115 yards through the air so far tonight for Patero. He'll hand it off. Butler running right side and filling the gap. It's Rourke Martin coming in and making the stop a couple of yards deep.
And Rourke Martin has made his presence felt today. He's got in on a couple of tackles right there at the line of scrimmage. He's doing a good job for his first game back.
3-yard pickup on the ground for Butler. His 16th carry of the night. Moving the ball forward here. South Medford nearing midfield at the 37. They've got second down and 7. 6:34 to go third quarter. They lead 19-6. Roseburg stacking the left side of the line. Now we'll reset. They hand it off to Butler running on the left side. Roseburg was stacking the right side for the offense. They run to the left, but still a nice job as Roseburg comes up, makes the stop, and it'll be third down and manageable. But Roseburg looking to try and get a stop here on third down and maybe force South Medford to punt away.
And what Roseburg has to do is make sure when they try to send this blitz here to get a sack that they still cover the receivers. They've done this a couple times now on third down where they'll send the blitz, but they're not able to cover the receivers, and they're allowing the receivers to get behind them.
4-yard pickup for Butler. It's third down and 3. Looking to pass Patero. Man out of the backfield, not open. Now he finds another man open in the zone. It's DeBoer who will make the catch and get in to Roseburg territory, out to the 48-yard line.
And that's exactly what South Medford has taken advantage of every time. Roseburg did send the blitz, and they just happen to find a receiver that's pretty much wide open all by himself and be able to pick up a big first down.
10 yards through the air for Trent DeBoer from Gio Botero, the senior first-year starter at quarterback. He sets up in shotgun, has Butler to his left, tied into the right of the formation. Handed off, running left side And stop Butler is forced back. Roseburg trying to rip at the football. They won't get it loose as Butler goes down to the 46, 2-yard pickup.
And that's Zach Mandera with this tackle right there. They were able to read that play, get through that gap, and make that tackle.
In at the tight end position is Sam Willis, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a big body along that line. They bring him in. I have to assume he is in as a tight end, as they will move him from one side to the other, but he is a big guy that it looks like they bring him in as a blocking tight end. He'll set up to the right of the formation. Butler in as an H-back on that left side of the formation at the line. And the backfield is divided. They go with a quick shovel pass, and it is sniffed out. Coming up with his stop, it's Hunter Blix coming into the backfield, and he will bring down Butler for a loss of yard back into South Medford territory, and now Roseburg a chance at a big third down stop.
And Hunter Blix did a great job at containing that outside there. He contained this near side and did not allow anybody to come through. There was nobody there blocking him. He broke down and was able to make that tackle.
That is a loss of 5 on the pass play. Roseburg late adjustments on the defensive side. Now they'll get everybody marked. Looking at the screen, it's set up. Butler has it. He's got plenty of space. Weaving to the sideline, has the first down, and he's taken out at the 26. And that'll move the chains. The right call at the right time for the Panthers.
And that's an inside screen right there, and that's the same thing that Roseburg was able to move the ball on South Medford with on the last possession that Roseburg had. And so South Medford said, hey, let's do this, and we're going to show you how to run this play, and they did the exact same thing.
So that is a 24-yard pickup through the air for Butler. After he lost 5 yards on the shovel pass. Moves the chains with that 24-yard pickup. Ball at the 27. Looking to pass, pump fake once. Patero in the backfield, some time. Now flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right, and he'll get shoved out of bounds. Zach Mandera, a hard push across the sideline. And they will make sure that Gio Patero not attacked as he gets to the sideline and thrown into Roseburg's bench.
And Zach Mandera did a great job at getting him pushed out of bounds without using excessive force or even pushing him late. He pushed him right up to the line, or to that out of bounds line, and then let go of him.
Loss of 5 on the ground on the first carry for Patero tonight. He does not run the ball all that often. Second down and 15 now for the Panthers. Patero looking to throw, a lot of time, airs it out as a wide open man. It's caught. Touchdown. Trevor Marthowski, his second of the night. He had just 1 catch coming into the game, and he has now had 2 touchdowns this evening.
And what happened there was just a miscommunication right there. That is number 10, Garrett Zymet, is playing corner right there, and he's following his guy, and he didn't switch off to be able to pick up that receiver there, and allowed him to get behind him wide open, and he was able to make that touchdown.
Zymet, the young man, the sophomore, getting his chance to play heavy minutes here tonight. PAT coming up. Ryan Flores, he's got 1 tonight. He'll kick it up and through. And with the kick, South Medford now leading at 26-6 on top of the Roseburg Indians. 3:20 to go in the third quarter. We'll come back after a 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Well, Roseburg had a drive into South Medford territory to start out the second half, but it resulted in a turnover on downs. South Medford responds by driving down the field and getting into the end zone to take a 20-point lead on top 26-6 as they kick it away. deep. It'll be Stoner to take it inside the 5, up the middle, one cut. Now a second as he gets across the 20. He falls forward to the 24-yard line. Roseburg will start, again, their best field position of the night here in this second half. But as things are starting to cool off here in Medford, the Panthers are heating up and Roseburg trying to get something started.
And right now it looks like number 72, Thomas Ruth, is not out there. He's got a towel wrapped around his neck, on his head. His gloves are off. It doesn't look like he's going to come back into this ball game tonight.
No, that's unfortunate. Big man, experienced lineman for Roseburg. They could always use size and experience. Roseburg will lead the offense back out. It is Warmouth. He turns and hands it off to Mandera, who's met at the line of scrimmage and doesn't get very far. In fact, right back to the line of scrimmage at the 23 for no gain.
And it looked like right there that Warmouth was sitting there trying to decide to the last second what he was going to do, whether or not to finish giving that ball to Mandera or to keep it himself. And then finally everything closed up and there was nowhere to run for either one of them.
No gain on first down for Roseburg, 2nd and 10. Mandera set up to the right of Warmouth. Trips to the right side. Quick pass to Adams. Defender up on him. He makes one cut to the inside. Back out to the near sideline. He's going to try to reverse field. He gets hit at the 30 now. Adams, I'm sure, has the coaches taken a deep breath. He's a gifted guy with a lot of speed, but there he kind of put himself in danger. He thankfully was able to make up the yards that he gave up as he was losing ground.
Yeah, Adams is a really quick, shifty guy, but he's got to remember he needs to go north and south and not east and west, and he doesn't need to go backwards ever.
Well, he picks up 7 there on his second catch of the night. Roseburg will have 3rd down and 3. Have to get out to the 33-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark, trips to the right. Move Gillespie in motion, fake the handoff to him. Quick pass. It's through the hands of Isaiah Moore. The pass too tall. If he had caught it, it would have been good for the first down, but Roseburg not able to convert on 3rd down.
And that's not Isaiah Moore's fault. That ball was thrown up there quite a bit. He had to jump up, and his defender was right there on top of him. As soon as he jumped up, that South Medford defender had already hit him.
So that'll send Roseburg out with their punting unit on their second possession of the second half. Warmouth deep at his own 18-yard line to kick it away. 2 guys deep to return for South Medford. DeBoer and Boster, I believe, the guys deep to return. And Warmouth's going to carry it himself. He gets hit at the 30, and he falls forward to the 31, unable to move the chains. He came up close, but not quite there on the quarterback keeper on the 4th down attempt.
And I'm not a big fan of that play right there, not being that far in. They should have kicked that ball and got it off and at least try to pin South Medford back. They're having a hard time at stopping South Medford. I don't know if they've even got they've got one stop so far, 4-3 and out, but they haven't been able to get any other than that.
They did get South Medford to punt in the first quarter, and you're correct. That is the only stop that the defense has been able to manage so far. Back out comes the offense for South. They'll set up at the Roseburg 31 as they take over. 1:30 to go here in the third quarter. Pass to the near sideline, caught by Nunez. He gets past Gillespie, but then it's Warmouth that takes him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the pass play. 2nd and 10.
And a really good red play there by Gillespie. He just wasn't able to break down and square his hips up and allowed that receiver to get around him.
Nunez, that is his first catch of the night, but it goes for no yards. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Ball on the right hash mark, down to 60 seconds to go in the third quarter. 26-6, South Medford in front. Patero will move. DeBoer in motion right to left. Handed off to him, trying to sweep it around the edge. Gets through a little bit of contact, tries to cut back to the middle of the field, and it's Zach Mandera that brings him down as he whips him to the turf. Right back at the line of scrimmage, no gain after running around for quite a bit there for DeBoer. It's 3rd down and 10.
And it was a really good job by Mandera wrapping up and just using his body weight to bring down the ball carrier.
Under 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. 20-point game. South trying to extend it and wear off the clock here. They'll bring in some new players into the huddle with 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. They'll break the huddle and head to the line. You've got Butler in as the fullback, DeVries the tailback, and they'll hand it off to him on the delay, and it's Mandera that makes contact, but DeVries will carry Mandera a couple of yards. It'll make it fourth down and probably about 6 to go for South Medford as we come back for the fourth quarter. 26-6 is your score. South Medford facing fourth down when we come back after a 60-second break on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
We start the fourth quarter. Roseburg trails 26-6 against South Medford on homecoming night for the Panthers, who will face fourth down and 6 to go to start this fourth quarter. They've got the ball at Roseburg's 27-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 21 to move the chains. They fake the handoff, quick pass, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver, Marthowski, who has been on fire tonight. The senior in his homecoming night unable to make the catch to move the chains, and it'll be a turnover on down by South Medford to start the fourth quarter.
And that was a perfectly thrown ball right there to his hands. He just was planning on running with the ball before he caught the ball, took his eyes off of it, and just misplaced where the ball was actually at.
They amazingly somehow didn't run any time off the clock, so Roseburg will get the ball with 12 minutes to go. And they have it at their own 27. Turnover on downs on South Medford. Panthers lead 26-6. Roseburg trying to get a score and make this one interesting. Timeout on the field by South Medford. Let's go ahead and take it as well. Get in our commercial breaks here in the second half. Tonight's action is brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Back after this 30-second break on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg football online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Fourth quarter action. Tonight's game brought to you by DC Farmer Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Right now, 26-6. South Medford in front. Roseburg with the football, starting out this fourth quarter. Indians trying to get on the board and put a little pressure on South before this one wraps up.
And it looks like Thomas Ruth has his shoulder pads off, and he's in a hoodie now.
Oh, that's not a great sign for him. Roseburg already dealing with plenty of injuries. Handoff in the backfield, running up over the right side of the line. Zach Mandera will get a carry on first down. Gets it to the 29 as Roseburg will pick up a couple of yards on first down. Spread trips to the right side of the formation for Warmouth with Mandera to his right. Zach's been the featured running back with Gillespie working as a wide receiver tonight. Gillespie is the slot on the right side of the field for Roseburg. Handed off, keeper for Warmouth, weaving through traffic, following some blockers out across the 35. He'll be close to the first down depending on the spot. He gets to the 36, a yard shy of moving the chains.
And I'm liking the play calling right now because they're trying to take it up the middle, and they've got Adams on that far side pretty much manned up, and they're going to take advantage of showing the trips on this side so that they can open up Adams on that far side.
Roseburg facing 3rd down and 1. Warmouth in shotgun. Gets the snap, hands it off to Mandera, running through the middle. He breaks free. He's got some space, has the first down across the 50. Thanks to a block from D'Angelo Adams, it springs Zach Mandera free into South Medford territory. They put him out at the 41-yard line, and Roseburg on the other half of the 50.
And these big rushing plays right there, it was a great job by Adams on the block. Hockey's doing what you're supposed to do at receiver. You got to be able to catch the ball at receiver, but an important job is to block as a receiver, and that's going to allow that passing game to open up.
Zach Mandera nearing 100 yards on the ground tonight. It'll be only the second 100-yard rushing game for a Roseburg running back. D'Angelo Adams trying to get around the edge. His speed will get to the corner. Penalty flag out, though, and I think that might negate what would have been a decent run on 1st and 10 for Roseburg as Adams got around the corner. It looked like he probably had the distance for the first down, but that penalty flag could be bringing this one back.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be bringing it back. It looked like it's the side judge here. It looks like it's going to be a hold. It is a hold against Roseburg.
It's at the 37, so they may mark it off from there. Roseburg would get credit for 4 yards, and then losing 10, it would be a net negative of 6.
And hopefully Roseburg lets that penalty go and keeps this drive moving forward. So far what we've seen tonight is every time there's a penalty or something that happens, it kind of stalls Roseburg's drive, and hopefully they can overcome that right now.
So the penalty will back them up to the South Medford 47. It'll be 1st down and 6. Warmouth turns. No, he'll keep it on the option. Runs around the left edge. He knew contact was coming. He braces for it and gets to the 38-yard line. Picks up the penalty yardage and will give Roseburg 2nd down and about 7. He gets it back to about where the penalty moved him back from, almost 10 yards on that gain.
And so far, this running game for Roseburg tonight has been one of the best running games that we've seen all season long.
It was 9 yards on the carry for Warmouth. Dropping back to pass. Pressure coming. They'll set up the screen. It's in the middle to Herskovitz. Things are wide open. He angles to the sideline at the 25. Contact. And he goes out of bounds. And he comes up a little bit hurt. He's going to get up and limp back onto the field. He wants to stay on, but the official's going to tell him, no, you have to head to the sideline. But the screenplay works to perfection for Roseburg. Moves the chains as they near the red zone.
And it's going to be his left shoulder, it looks like, that's hurting him.
Well, watch. He's got looked at quickly by Julie Deaver, and now will hang out on the sideline waiting to go back in. He took the ball down to the 22-yard line. That is a pickup of 16 through the air for Herskovitz. And that'll set Roseburg up 1st and 10. They go with a triple option pitch to Stoner in the backfield. Stiff arm, he cannot escape. Well, he didn't go down at first. They have not blown the whistle yet, and now 3 Panthers will bring him down. Losing yardage there on the 1st down carry on the triple option by Roseburg.
And Herskovitz is just checking back in right now. Ethan Stoner checking out.
Stoner on the play, unfortunately goes backwards to the 27. That's a loss of 5. For Stoner, that was his 3rd carry of the night. Did find out the UCC volleyball team in a tie one with Lynn Benton. That is positive. Unfortunately, they lose in 5 sets against Lynn Benton, the leader in the South region. UCC giving them everything they can handle. Looking to pass, have the slant route. Adams catch down to the 10, and he's spun down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, and that'll put Roseburg at first and goal on a great in route from the far side of the field for D'Angelo Adams.
It was a perfect route ran by D'Angelo Adams, but it was a perfect throw by Warmouth. He put it right on the numbers, only where Adams could catch that ball. Very, very well played by both of them two players.
19 yards on the completion, over 150 yards through the air for Colin Warmouth tonight. And over 100 yards receiving for Adams as the first down play goes up the middle, and Zach Mandera take it down right around the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard to the 7, I believe. It'll be second down and goal from the 7 for Roseburg. Trying to punch one in here. Time has been running, though, in the fourth quarter. 7:20 to go here in the fourth. Roseburg trailing 26-6. It's Warmouth on a keeper, has the blockers in front of him, stretches for the end zone. Touchdown, Roseburg! Colin Warmouth will punch it in, and for the senior quarterback, Colin Warmouth will get his 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Really, really good, read play by Warmouth. He saw that they were blitzing in, coming after the running back, so he was able to keep that ball, find that open lane to the outside, and score that touchdown.
The score comes with 7:11 to go in the ball game, and Roseburg will set up for the PAT. Looking to try and kick it through. It's going to be Hunter Hilliard. Warmouth the holder. Snap is high. He looks to throw, and it's knocked away from Mandera, the intended target. South Medford defense sniffs it out. I believe that was a designed 2-point fake PAT.
Yeah, it was absolutely a designed fake PAT. They had all the defenders coming from that far side, and Roseburg knew it, so they were going to try to get it to the open receiver, and they were not able to.
Roseburg finds the end zone. They trail 26-12 here in the fourth quarter. Back after this 30-second break on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
So Roseburg finds their way into the end zone, now trail by 14, 2-score game. Still within reach with 7:11 to go. The Tribe will kick it away. Carson Ellis out there to boot it deep. Roseburg kicking left to right on your radio dial here in the fourth quarter. The right-footed kicker puts an end-over-end short kick. It bounces to the 20, picked up there. The return man is Butler. He's going to get to the edge. Goodbye. He's headed to the end zone. Terrence Butler will take that one approximately 80 yards to the house for a kickoff return. And South Medford, with that play, might just start to put this one away.
Every time Roseburg tonight has had a chance to get momentum going their way, South Medford has done something to take the momentum away and give it back to them. And right there was an example of that. It looks like number 26, Gage Hill, for Roseburg, sat there and he tried to do an arm tackle, lowered his head, and completely missed the tackle, allowing him to get to the outside to score that touchdown.
So Butler takes it to the house. 32-12 now your score. Out to try and put the PAT through will be Luke Allen. Right-footed kicker. Snap high, placement down. The kick is away, and it does squeak over the crossbar. 33-12, the kickoff return, approximately 78 yards to the house for Terrence Butler. And South Medford starting to take control of this ball game. Back after a quick 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, Roseburg gives up a 78-yard kickoff return and now trail by 21. Very unfortunate after Roseburg had marched down the field to make it a 2-score game. Kick is away. It's going to be Stoner to take it at the 8 to the middle of the field. Cuts it to the hash mark. Nearly slips through a tackle, but will be taken down. He'll come up short of the 30-yard line, but Roseburg will head out with their offense once again, starting at their own. Let's see where they place it, but I want to say they will put it right on the 30.
And that was a pretty generous spot right there. I didn't look like he actually got to the 30-yard line at all.
Well, Roseburg will have 6:50 to go in this one, trailing by 21. Late man onto the field is going to be Isaiah Moore, who will set up in the slot right of the formation. And the backfield, Mandera, give it to him up the middle, burst through the line and into the linebackers out to the 35. A 5-yard pickup for Zach. And Mandera with that carry will have a 100-yard rushing night. And for Roseburg, that's just the second running back to reach 100 yards in a game this season.
And I feel like this running game tonight has actually done really well compared to what we've seen throughout the entire season. I think this is probably going to be the best running game Roseburg has had all season.
Colin Warmoth around 50 yards tonight, so they're around 150 yards this evening. Up the middle goes Mandera, should have the first down as he runs out to the 41. Contact, and he was able to fall forward, and that will move the chains on a pickup of 6. So Roseburg continues to ground and pound here, trailing by 21, and the clock down to about 6 minutes to go, trying to bust one free. Tied in to the right of the formation, looking to pass, delay handoff. Mandera up the middle through one tackle, dragging another, and he'll lose that man hanging on to his jersey, and he gets across the 50 down to the 43 in South Medford territory. So strong. Zach Mandera carrying a man on his back into South Medford territory.
He was carrying number 71, Sam Willis, who is 6'3", 230 pounds, and he carried him about 7 yards.
Now that is a pickup of 16 on the ground for Mandera, and they'll give it to him again, and he'll lose yardage on the play. Probably a late read that Warmoth should have kept it. Mandera might have taken it from him more than he should have. And Zach will come out of the play as Gage Hill will take over in the backfield. Mandera on that run loses back to the 47. And so that's going to be a loss of 4 for Zach. Hill will set up at the backfield to the left of Warmoth. He gets the carry running right side. Swim move, gets up downfield. He moved nicely down to the 37-yard line, so he'll pick up about 10 on that carry.
And so far, Roseburg getting great penetration, and they're being able to move right down the middle pretty easily, and they need to keep that up.
They'll set up. It'll be third down and about 4:30 to go. After the carry there by Hill. Fake the handoff. Warmoth looking to pass. He tucks it. He'll run. Going right side of the line. Stretches forward. He's got the first down as he gets to the 31.
And right there, that was a design pass play that closed in on Warmoth really, really quick. He was able to see it, and then he was able to still rush that ball up the middle and pick up that first down.
So Roseburg moves the chains, first down and 10. Hill stays in the ball game. Will set up to the right of Warmouth in shotgun. They give it to, no, it's a keeper for Warmouth. Got tripped up by his shoelaces, falls forward down to the 27.
And that one there was pretty slick because you couldn't tell who actually had the ball right there.
Fooled me, that's for sure. 4-yard pickup on the run. Clock just continues to tick. We're under 4 minutes to go. As tonight's ball game moving pretty quick. That has been contrary to past games for the Roseburg Indians. South Medford will take a timeout. They need a breather as Roseburg continues to run down the field. We'll take a quick break on the timeout by the Panthers, who lead 33-12 on top of Roseburg on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
They'll bring the teams back out on the field after the timeout by South Medford. Before we resume play, Josh, you've got an update on Portland Trailblazers preseason basketball against the Suns tonight.
Yeah, right now the Blazers are up 97-76. It says they are getting a little bit sloppy right now, but they are pretty much been in control of this game the entire time.
There you go. Blazers trying to go to 1-1 in preseason basketball. Season will start October 18th. Warmouth in shotgun. They've got second down and 6. 3:43 to go. Warmouth looking to pass. Steps up. He launches to the end zone. Adams, a jump ball, and he cannot bring it down. He had a man right there with him, and both guys got some hands up, and neither able to get control of the football.
No, right there, and that was really well contested by South Medford. And Adams, they did a great job of trying to get up there and get it. It was just overthrown just a hair.
That'll make it third down now for Roseburg. 6 yards to go. Have to get it down to the 21. The ball at the 27. Warmouth with Mandera to his right. Adams, the lone receiver, to the right side of the formation. Tight end to the left. Looking towards him. He was open. They go to Zymet, and the wide receiver can't hold on to it. Garrett Zymet, the sophomore, lets one go right through his hands. It would have been a first down and more.
And that was put right on the numbers, right in his hands. There's no excuse for him not having that. And right there, it's going to make you think at quarterback, if you're Warmouth, right there was a huge running lane that opened up. He could have easily probably picked up the first down just on his feet alone.
So it'll be fourth down, and Roseburg really nothing to lose here, trailing at 33-12, 3.5 minutes of play. They leave the offense on the field. They need 6 yards for the first down. Warmouth in shotgun, Mandera to his left. They've got a tight end to the left of the formation. Carson Ellis in there. Adams to the right. 2 targets to the left. Looking to pass. They're going to go to Adams. It's tipped up. I did not see if that was Ellis that might have tipped it. I think the pass was intended deeper. It looked like they ran a very similar play and that Garrett Zymet might have been open once again. But looking over the middle, Colin Warmouth can't connect with his target.
Yeah, Ellis was playing tight end there, and he was cutting in as Adams was cutting deep. And I think Ellis thought that ball was for him and tipped the ball up over the head of Adams when you could see that it was probably intended for Adams the entire time the way it was thrown.
So South Medford will take over with the ball at their own 27-yard line after the turnover on downs by Roseburg. Gio Botero will lead the offense out. The senior quarterback will have DeVries to his left, now his right. Twins to the right side of the formation. Shotgun snap, give it to DeVries in the backfield. Does not find a lane, and he'll pick up no yardage on first down.
And so far in that middle, Roseburg's about 50-50 chance right now of stopping that run. But I think they're doing better at stopping that run than South Medford is at stopping Roseburg's run.
This is going to be one of the better nights defensively based on the stats for Roseburg. They have not allowed much passing, only about 175 yards. And on the ground game, South Medford just now nearing 100 yards, but Roseburg just has not capitalized on their drives to get points, whereas South Medford has cashed in and gotten points on the board. Trent DeBoer moves in motion from left to right, gets the handoff on the end-around sweep, turns it upfield as he weaves through the defense, gets out to the 29-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and long for South Medford.
And right there, South Medford, it looks like number 34, Jamil Parnell, is a receiver out there, and he's trying to block one of Roseburg's, I think it's Herskovitz, and he's pushing him in the back the whole time. I'm actually surprised that the White Hat did not throw a penalty right there.
It'll be 3rd down and about 8 to go. 2:07 to play here in the ball game. And it's going to be a delay of game on South Medford, moving them backwards. It'll be now 3rd down and long.
And that's South Medford's first penalty this half.
So the ball will go back to the 23 and a half, about the 24. Loss of 5. Third down and long. High snap, pulling it down, running up the middle is Butler, and he'll bury his head as he gets across the 25 out to about the 27. And timeout on the field.
It's Roseburg's taking the timeout.
And I said that was Butler, but I believe that was actually Parnell running the football there. You mentioned him. He is the younger brother of Jalen Parnell, last year's Player of the Year from South Medford, who's graduated and moved on. In fact, Jalen Parnell now playing at Western Oregon University, and that is his younger brother getting a chance to start shining here for the Panthers tonight. So timeout down on the field, 33-12 is our score. 1:49 to go in the ball game. It's going to be 4th down and 10 for South out of the timeout, and likely punting away. Roseburg a chance to just try and get some points on the board here and make the score look a little bit more respectable than the 21-point margin they have right now.
Well, and I think that's why Heiberger took the timeout there. He wants the chance for Roseburg to score again, and so he's going to put D'Angelo Adams back deep, see if he can make something happen right now.
Adams has not returned a punt so far this season. He'll stand at his own 40. The punter is Gio Botero, the quarterback. Low snap, not a good one. He'll finally get it away, and that's a pretty good punt. And Adams is just going to let it roll, and South is going to let that time wear off and pick it up at the 29-yard line, and that's where Roseburg's offense will head back out on the field.
And that's really unfortunate right there. Roseburg wasn't rushing that kick. If they would have rushed the kick right there, they could have easily blocked it or maybe even picked it up off the ground. There was no rush, so the punter had plenty of time to punt that ball away and allow for South Medford to have plenty of defenders down there around D'Angelo Adams where there was no way he could actually field that ball, let alone return it.
Well, Roseburg's offense will come out on the field likely for one last time here tonight against the Panthers, who lead by 21 and are looking to try and polish off their first win in conference play. Warmouth out there in at quarterback. Has Zach Mandera to his left. They'll give it to him. Running to the right side, cuts it back to the left, has an open space, gets to the edge, through one tackler and out of bounds. And Zach Mandera is going to take that one out to the 45, and a whistle is going to...
There's a flag on the play on the 30-yard line. And then Warmouth shaking his head like, what? Who did what?
We'll wait for the official call here. Chop block against Roseburg is going to be the call.
Wow.
And it looks like I think the officials are explaining to Roseburg what they did wrong here. The ball or the flag is right at the 30, which is right around where Roseburg started on that drive. So that'll back up Roseburg.
And what is that, a 10-yard penalty or 15-yard penalty?
I believe so. And Warm is still having a conversation with the official and does not seem to be happy about what Roseburg's penalty is going to be. It looks like it'll be from the spot of the foul. And it looks like it'll be a 10-yarder, I believe. Wait a minute.
Nope,
Make it a 15. So back to the Roseburg 16-yard line.
I didn't realize that was a personal foul.
Yeah, I guess so. And if they put it at the 16, I feel like that means it was from the 31 for a 15-yarder.
Yeah.
So Mandera will get credit for 2 yards. And then the 15-yard penalty. Got 1:11 to go in the ball game. Shotgun snap to Warmouth. Pressure coming. Mandera picks up the blitz. Pass over the middle to Ellis out to the 30-yard line. So they'll make up that penalty, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's a really good catch by Ellis right there to be able to get open and hold on to the ball and just bring it in and make up that penalty yard.
So they get 14 on the pass play. Pass to the right side and bobbled momentarily by Zymet, but the sophomore hauls it in after letting one go through his hands. This time he pulls it in and out to the 45. It moves the chains.
And that's a huge catch for number 10, Zymet, for him to be able to catch that ball, bring it down, pick up the first down. That gives a lot of confidence in a young receiver.
15 yards on the completion. Warmouth pump fake, now sees the pressure coming. He steps up into the pocket. He'll turn to his right as he gets across the 50 and out to the 49. And it's a good carry on the quarterback scramble. That makes it 2nd down and short. That'll be a 6-yard carry for Warmouth. And the clock is about to come to an end. Warmouth will get one last snap. Nope. The game will come to an end. So Roseburg will fall here tonight on the road as South Medford wins 33-12. Once again, it's moments of things looking okay for Roseburg, but then they find a way to kind of kick themselves in the shin and unable to pull out a victory. We'll watch to see how things continue for Roseburg. They've been hit with some injuries, some suspensions that lost a few players from the team just this week. Will definitely hurt their depth, but this is a team that's been showing a lot of promise. They just got to find a way to get over the hump. We'll recap it all for you when we come back. The Roseburg Disposal Postgame Show coming up next here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, we welcome you back here for the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Well, our final score, 33-12 here tonight. Joey Keyran, Joshua Nelson with you this evening as the Roseburg Indians fight against South Medford. The Indians will go to 1-5 in conference play, 1-5 overall, 0-2 in conference play. South Medford goes to 5-1 and 1-0 in the Southwest Conference. It was a game where execution and just finishing off drives, South Medford did it, Roseburg could not. And that's where we get a 21-point victory for the Panthers. But the question has been all night, or all season, is Roseburg starting to close the gap and get back to being competitive in conference play? We saw them be competitive, lose by 5 against Grants Pass last week. Tonight, a game that last year was 51-0. Roseburg falls 33-12. I think more than anything, this team is proving that, yes, they are closing the gap. Tonight, they were hit with some adversity. Some players kicked off the team this week. Some injuries starting to pile up. They're a little short-handed. They had to make do with what they had. Tonight, I think they showed that at times they can definitely be a team that competes in the Southwest Conference. The question is whether or not they'll be able to do it over the extent, the period of 4 quarters. If they can do it through a complete game, and that has still been the issue for this Roseburg team, is to try and get over that hump and play a complete football game. They're trying to get there. I think they keep getting closer and closer. I'm very impressed by this team. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to get that first Southwest Conference victory and try and find that first win on the road here tonight. They fall 33-12. Josh, some of your initial impressions of tonight's action between Roseburg and South Medford?
Well, I agree. They are closing the gap. Just the scores that you're seeing from last week against Grants Pass to this week against South Medford, and then what happened last year. They're doing a great job at closing that gap. They are going to be more competitive as the years go on. But like you said, we do want to see them finish a game 4 quarters, and their intensity needs to stay up from the first play of the game all the way through, no matter what the score is. And we're not seeing that intensity, that will and want to fight and get through. A couple players are. I'm not going to say that it's the whole team, but you look at the team in general, all on the sidelines and stuff, and you're just not seeing that intensity level that you're hoping to see. And who knows what's going on with that, but they're doing a great job overall. They're trying to win football games. They're making some mental mistakes. Those mental mistakes are costing them during these games, or these games would be a lot closer. They did a great job tonight without doing the turnovers. Not one turnover for either team, no fumbles, no interceptions. Did a great job adapting to that weather situation and wondering if that ball was going to be slick. There was a couple times people didn't catch balls, and that was because it was slick, but there was no turnovers. So it was a great job by both teams tonight.
Final score again, 33-12. Recapping, it was 19-6 at halftime. In the second half, scoring drive, South Medford gets a 32-yard touchdown strike from Botero to Marthowski to make it 26-6. That was your third quarter score. In the fourth quarter, Roseburg gets on the board for its second half touchdown as Colin Warmoth would score on a 7-yard quarterback keeper, and that made it 26-12 as the Indians would fail to get the 2-point conversion. And then on the ensuing kickoff, it was Terrence Butler that takes it 78 yards to the house. The PAT was good by Luke Allen, and it made it 33-12. That's your final score here tonight. We'll take a look at more of your stats from this one tonight, so stay with us for that. Coming up here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show, let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Give them a call at 673-7122. Tonight's game has also been brought to you by our friends at Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes, and by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Back after this 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Hanging out here at Spiegelberg Stadium tonight, where the Roseburg Indians fall against South Medford. And they will head back home for next week's game against North Medford, looking to try and get that conference victory to break the seal here in 2018. Joey Kieran and Josh Nelson with you back in the studio. Chance Terrell running things on the radio side for us here tonight. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in for the broadcast here this evening. Coming up still in the postgame show, we'll get you some scores from other games of note from around the Umpqua Basin and the Southwest Conference, as well as just other games that I'm sure you sports fans are interested in here tonight. And we will name our player of the game as well, so stay tuned for that coming up. But let's go ahead and take a look at stats from tonight's contest. Our stat update brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1931. For the Roseburg Indians, Colin Warmoth tonight, 15 attempts through the air. He completes 8 of them, 8 for 15 tonight, 191 yards, 1 touchdown for him, no interceptions. On the ground tonight, big night for Zach Mandera leading the way as he finishes with 18 carries, 123 yards tonight, no touchdowns. Colin Warmoth tonight had, let's see here, I appear to be missing his touchdown run, so let's add that in at the very end here. So Colin Warmoth with 15 carries unofficially, 78 yards and 1 touchdown. Gage Hill had 1 carry, 10 yards. Ethan Stoner, 3 carries for a net gain of 0 yards. And D'Angelo Adams, 3 carries for 8 yards. Through the air tonight for Roseburg, Eddie Hershkovitz, 1 catch, 16 yards. Carson Ellis, 1 catch, 14 yards. 3 catches for D'Angelo Adams, 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Doran Gillespie, 1 catch for 28 yards. And Garrett Zymet, 1 catch for 15 yards. And I have 1 catch for a player that I forgot to write down what number it was for, but it's a 3-yard gain. We'll figure it all out and have updated stats coming up throughout next week. On the other side for South Medford, 16 attempts through the air for Gio Botero, and he connects on 13 of them. He had 3 touchdown passes tonight and a total of 176 yards. On the ground, Terrence Butler had 18 carries, 93 yards, and 1 score. DeVries had 6 carries, 16 yards. Trent DeBoer had 3 carries for 7 yards, and it was Jamal Parnell getting 1 carry for 3 yards tonight. Through the air, Austin Boster, 2 catches, 17 yards, and a touchdown. Trent DeBoer, 3 catches, 31 yards. 2 touchdown catches tonight for Trevor Marthowski. The senior had just 1 catch coming in tonight, but he gets 2 touchdown grabs, 89 yards total on 3 catches. And Terrence Butler out of the backfield, 4 catches for 39 yards. Those are your unofficial stats for tonight, brought to you by Umpqua Dairy. They're starting to turn out the lights here at Spiegelberg, so we'll start to get ready to get out of here. 1 segment left to go. We'll have scores and our player of the game. When we return, this is Roseburg football on CBS Sports Radio 1490, The Score.
This is Roseburg football online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Wrapping things up here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Tonight, Roseburg falls 33-12 against South Medford. Here we will have some scores for you here in a moment, but it's time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. Tonight, that award goes to a guy that got kind of put into a new position. We hadn't seen him in much of the season, and continues to shine on the defensive side of the ball as well. Tonight's Player of the Game, Zach Mandera.
Yeah, great job by Zach Mandera coming in, being able to get those tackles. He did a great job at wrapping up tonight, bringing guys down. And he never gives up on a play, no matter what. If it's an offensive play or defensive play, he always gives 100%. Had well over 100 yards rushing tonight. Did a great job all around. Good job to Zach Mandera tonight.
Yeah, Zach Mandera starting at running back tonight. With some of the changes to the roster this week, he got kind of shoved into that role, and he ends up going over 120 yards, becomes just the second running back this season to go over 100 yards for Roseburg. Didn't get a score, but he does a nice job carrying the ball, and I imagine they'll look for him to do much of the same coming up next week as Roseburg will be hosting North Medford. Josh, I know you don't have much. This is the first time that Roseburg has been done before 10 o'clock. And so kind of surprising to see that we're done so early. It means the scores are a little harder to come by. What kind of score updates do you have for us at the moment?
So right now, the only one I got for Southwest Conference. I don't even have anything for the Umpqua Valley. So the only thing I've got for Southwest Conference is Jesuit came back against Sheldon tonight, 36-32.
All right, we'll keep looking around. That's one from the Southwest Conference.
And
looks like we got one here from the Umpqua Basin.
Yeah, it looks like North Douglas beat Yoncalla 30-28.
Well, that is a close one there. The battle for North County.
Yeah, that's a huge battle there. And then I've got Blazer basketball preseason tonight. Blazers did win 115-93.
Good win for Portland.
And then UCC lost in 5 sets to Lynn Benton tonight, 3-2.
That was a league home opener for the UCC Riverhawks in volleyball out there. Sounds like they pushed Lynn Benton to the edge in that one. Unfortunate to see that one comes up on the short side. We also know Sutherland is hosting Harrisburg tonight. That game on I-101 FM. That was a big showdown there. And also South Umpqua and Douglas squaring off. They're both in action tonight. South Umpqua was losing big at halftime against Cascade Christian. And Douglas at home against Brookings Harbor, a team that has been very good to start out the year tonight as well. You got any other updates?
One other team that Roseburg did play this year already. McMinnville did lose to Sherwood tonight, 38-27.
All right, there you go. Well, we will continue to pay attention to what else is going on around and try to get you score updates going up online at 541radio.com. So we'll have that for you here as the night wear. Well, probably more tomorrow than it is tonight since we got to drive home and get back up there to Roseburg. South Eugene winning over North Eugene, and I think that's a league matchup now between those two teams. Did you mention the Jesuit score or the Sheldon score?
Yes, the Sheldon score. Jesuit came back from 14 points down to beat Sheldon tonight. It was 36 Jesuit at Sheldon 32.
All right, there we go. All right, well, look to 541radio.com to try and find updates on what else went on around the Umpqua Basin this evening. And look at that. North Medford beating Grants Pass 37-29 tonight. That's another game of note. Roseburg will be facing a very enthusiastic and confident North Medford team coming up next week there at Finlay Field.
And that one right there is going to be an interesting game to see next week because out of all the Southwest Conference teams, North Medford has the new coach this year. Yeah, and I was expecting North Medford to be that team that I think that out of everybody in the Southwest Conference that Roseburg could beat. And now that North Medford has beaten Grants Pass, who Roseburg lost to last week, it makes it a little bit more interesting for next week.
We'll see how it goes. Another score I just came across here. It's Riddle 36, Days Creek 8 in that matchup going on down in Riddle tonight. So there you go. Just a check of some of the scores going on around the Umpqua Basin. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here tonight as we wrap things up from Spiegelberg. We want to make sure they don't lock the gates on us as we try to get out of here, so we'll wrap it up and start packing up the gear. We'll head on the road back to Roseburg, where next week the Roseburg Indians will take on the North Medford Black Tornado there at Finlay Field. I want to say thanks to South Medford hosting us here tonight at Spiegelberg Stadium. Appreciate all the help they gave us in getting ready for tonight's action. A big thanks to BG Gould for helping provide stat updates from the season for South Medford this week. Also want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Dave Heiberger, and the entire Roseburg football program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on 1490 The Score and streaming at 541radio.com. Big thanks to Josh Nelson doing double duty tonight, our color analyst this evening, as well as cameraman. And back in the studio, big thanks to Chance Terrell for running things on the radio side of tonight's production. And as always, folks, want to say thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran, folks. We will talk to you next Friday night when the Roseburg Indians are back at home at Finlay Field, taking on the North Medford Black Tornado. That one will kick off at 7 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:45. You can catch the action streaming live online at 541radio.com or tune in on the radio on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, Chance, thanks so much.